All right, you gotta sit. Garrett, Garrett, how you doing? How you doing, my brother? How you doing? How you been? Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. Give me David. How you doing, my brother? How's everything going for you? It's been a while. It's been a while. I don't know if you guys seen my the YouTube short that I did maybe about 30 minutes ago. So right now what's happening is I don't even know if y'all seen the title or anything to this live is basically a um hold on. It is a workplace struggle release Friday. So we're gonna do this one Friday at a time, but the plan is to keep this going every Friday. Work is a bit stressful, but everything else, all right, cool. That's what's up. Actually, you are in the right place and time because that's what this live is about. One of the main things that this live is about is we're here to talk about or release the work week struggle or release the work week stress. I'm sorry. How them different W's running back to back is throwing me off. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for a couple of minutes before we get started. And also I have a new book that's coming out Tuesday. But so what we're gonna do is first we're gonna talk about. I don't really want to elaborate right now because I'll find myself repeat myself over and over. So that's kind of why I wanted to wait maybe like 5, 6 minutes before we got started. But so what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about some of your work week stress, things that you've been dealing with is ultimately for you all to vent, to get off your chest, because oftentimes when we at work going through those things, we bring it home and they carry on to day after day after day after day across the weekend, and it's like it just sucks all together. So the goal is for you guys to release that stress, release that anger, release whatever pressure you guys have, like relieve yourself right now in this moment. And then we're going to start walking through a few things that will definitely help you where you are now, and you can start implementing it right now. And um and so some of or most of what I'm going to share with you all is actually in the new book. So yes, this is workplace struggle release Friday. So the main thing is like you guys getting this stuff off your chest, and just it's weighty, right? So that's the main goal for this. But as we talk about other things, then obviously I'm gonna share some things that's in the book that you'll be able to take with you. So I'm gonna give you an example. So chapter 2 is called Architect: How to Build Your Future on Paper, Dreams, Visions, and Ideas and Goals. So you're gonna learn how to like tap into your dreams, visions, and like look into your future life. And then I'm going to walk you through basically setting those goals, as well as learn how to plan your future, like create a plan for your life. because again, like oftentimes we at work, we feel like this is it, I'm stuck. But no, that's not true. So it's just basically to help you. So the name of the book is Show Up Different to the Workplace, Employee Training Guide to a Successful Career. So you have an idea of like this is like personal growth as well as professional growth. But obviously we're not going to go through all of that. It's like 7 chapters. We're not going to go through all of that. There are a few things that I am going to cover with you all, and if you want to go and buy the book, that's cool too. But I'm going to share with you all. So the how to build your future on paper, and then the second thing is how to create your morning routine. I'm gonna walk you through the step by step process and how to do that, and then the third thing we're gonna talk about showing up different to work. All right, so it's going to be an easy flow with it. So yeah, I thank you all for your time and accompanying me right now at this hour. I'm gonna try to only run this joint no longer than an hour, but some of you all know how I get down at times. So please bear with me, and I'm gonna wait like maybe like another 2 or 3 more minutes. I'm gonna see if I can get my I'm sorry, my Instagram thing set up real quick before we dive in. So okay, so it's not gonna let me. Cool. It's all great. So before we get started, I'm gonna go ahead and pray us in real quick, and then we're gonna go ahead and dive. All right, Heavenly Father, thank you for this point in time, this opportunity, Lord. I pray that you would speak through me to reach your people who are struggling this week or are struggling on their jobs, to help them in where they are and to help them get moving forward into the future life that you created them to have. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so it's a little warm in here. So, okay, so again, this is a new thing that we're gonna start every Friday. And to further notice, we're gonna do it one Friday at a time because I can't predict tomorrow. All right, Matt, how you doing, my brother? How you doing? So, so the title of this live is the title of this live is workplace struggle release Friday. All right, so you have an idea what they got to be about, right? So right now, I want to take this opportunity to open up the floor to you all, to kind of like release some of that work life stress, that workplace stress that you guys been encountering this week, whether it's your boss, your job in general, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like, so as you share and vent, we all come together, and if it's something that we once struggled with and we figured out a way to overcome those things, if it's not too much to ask, if we can all share how we overcame these things, to kind of like we're fellowshipping here to help each other get through these struggles that we have. And then I'll kind of highlight one thing in particular, from my personal story. And then as we close out, I'm going to introduce you all to the 4A method to self improvement. All right, but I'm not going to touch on that yet. I'll wait until the end. Again, everything that we're pretty much going to cover is actually in the book. So I'm excited because yes, like this is also the new book release chapter read. So I'm going to share with you all what we have going on here. So yeah, you don't see the point of your work. I'm only doing it for the money. Uh, Manu, Manu, is that correct? From Switzerland, Manu. I think that's how Manu Ginobili name is spelled. They used to play for San Antonio Spurs. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. So yeah, how was you guys' work week? So let me go back up because David, um hold on. I'm doing okay. I feel myself in God. Um I'm gonna be honest with you, Matt. The fact that you're able now, look, please, you all bear with me. I'm gonna try to touch each and every one of you guys' comments. All right, so bear with me. I'm gonna try not to spend too much time on each one because I really want to help in any way that I can. So yeah, so just bear with me. And again, if you all see one of the brothers or sisters in here that kind of like had a tough week, work week, stressful life, whatever it is, by all means, like chime in and give encouragement, advice, or share something. You know what I mean? Just please be positive, please. Um, but look, check me out though, Matt. Like, man, I love it because the fact that you're able to share that with me, that let you know that God has given you another chance, right? So we honor Him in the way we live, but we also have to know that like there's times where we're gonna slip up, right? And when we slip up, we have to learn from those times that we slipped up and how we slipped up, how we got to that point. And then once we reverse engineer that, then we have to make sure that for one, we have to do a heart check. Like, what am I doing this for? Whether it's work, because oftentimes when we're working, we get so locked in on work and trying to get this money, bills, and everything else, we lose sight of the one who blessed us with that. It happens. In fact, I believe that happens to everyone. All right. So know that he's a just God for sure, but he's also a merciful God. So if you go to him, however, like whatever you've done, if you go to him and repent is simply like changing your mind. Like, I was doing this, and then, like, you know what? I'm not doing that no more, right? Like, I changed my mind. I'm no longer going to go there no more. I'm no longer going to act that way. I'm no longer going to indulge in those things. I'm no longer going to partake. Like, changing your mind and turning away from that back to him, right? So that's what repentance is, not just an apology. I feel like apology is for us to feel better about what we've done, right? But we like it's not about us in that moment because we the ones that messed up. So it's about getting right with God. So whatever it is, like take it to God and repent. Turn away from whatever it is that you've been doing, right? And then confess whatever your sin is or whatever that life that you may have been living. Confess that, because when we confess, that's basically letting him know I'm standing in agreement with you. Said this sin is what that is. I'm standing in agreement, like I've done that. I've done those things. Please forgive me, right? And like he will forgive you. He will forgive you, but we have to make sure that like we do everything we can to like walk out that righteous living. You feel me? But like you like considering he forgive you, you have to forgive yourself, because the enemy he's gonna come in and just take that and break you down. You feel me? No, but see, but so that's the thing though. Um, that's why God orchestrated everything and putting these things in place, because he knew that it's our iniquity, like we are sinful, period. So at any moment, any of us can slip, right? So what helps us keep from sinning and doing those same things, like for one, we have to understand that sin is the root of all destruction from the beginning. And I shared this. I don't know if you was present at any one of these messages I've been giving these past few Sundays, but like we have to know that's how we grow to hate sin, as God does. And then even more so, we have to like really get serious about like cultivating a intimate relationship with Jesus Christ, because if you love someone, if I love someone, honor someone, I don't want to do anything to wrong them. I don't want to mess up anything that we got going on, right? So like really like seek him. Just seek him. And we're going to talk about morning routine as well while we're here, right? So yeah, just go to him and make it right, and just know all the things that the decisions you usually do that cause you to slip, the people that you may be around when it's like the peer pressure, when when the struggle get real, pull back from them instead of giving your time to all of them. And and you probably be working your behind off. Like, I mean, make sure that instead of like going to go kick it, instead of going to go hang out, doing whatever it is that's taking your extra time, like pull back and give that to your relationship with Christ. And the Holy Spirit will begin to work on your heart in his word, work on your mind, renewing your mind. And it you would not saying that you want to do certain things, but you would definitely stay away from those things, especially once you done taste the goodness of God. You feel me? So yeah, I hope that helped, my brother. um David, are you still here? Okay, you say I don't see the point of my work. I'm only doing it for money. Man, on the cool, a lot of us are. A lot of us are. You know what I'm saying? And that's the next thing that we're gonna cover now. Cool. That's the next thing that we're gonna cover now is um it's like, how can we do things different? Let's go ahead and transition. So before we transition forward, do anyone else here want to bring forth whatever stress that they've encountered this week at work? So just go ahead and leave it in a comment, and then so we won't get stuck right here. So we can cover everything. Go ahead and leave it in a comment, and then as we close, I'll circle back and then address some of those things. I just don't want to hold y'all all night, because y'all know I can go. I can go. All right. So now, to show y'all that I am serious about what we are doing, I have notes here. Don't be overwhelmed by the pages. Don't be overwhelmed. We're gonna slide through this. Like, I mean, so with this job thing, like, so how can we do things different in the workplace with what we have control of? What can we do different? What can we do different? Because obviously we go for the money, right? What can we do different other than being subjective to this work life thing? Obviously we have to work, but when we get serious about why we are here, why we were created, it will begin to change our perspective. It would definitely start changing our perspective, right? And then again, we're gonna cover some of those things. So with how we show up to work, it oftentimes reflect how we feel about the job, how we feel about our managers, maybe how we feel about the people. Like I really don't want to be here, and our energy shows that. And the root cause for that is we're just there to collect a check. I'm actually working on some things that will probably be in the next book that I can go into the workplace, and we have to change. We have to change that. Um, we have to change that whole thing. We're just here to collect a check. So if we know that we are at this job just to collect a check, can we create a medium where, okay, this is what I'm coming to work for clearly? How about we have conversation with the bosses and the managers and put some things in place to where this no longer is a dead end job, right? So I'm not gonna go in. That's not in this book. That's so I'm the Lord has been leading me in creating something to present to to managers and company owners, because it's no wonder why we get burnt out. It's no wonder why we go to work with a stank attitude. It's no wonder why our energy the way it is. It's no wonder why our attendance suck. You know what I mean? Showing up to work late, not always going to work when we should because we just simply don't feel like going to work today. And we have to change that. First, we have a responsibility to self to show up different, to show up to work on another level, operating from a different standard from everybody else. I'm gonna get stuck in traffic. Wow. Man, come on, man. That's a call right there. Perhaps that's a call right there. All right. So what can you do differently then that will where you can either start learning about what you would actually like doing, enjoy doing. I would say what you're passionate about, but when it come down to purpose, that doesn't necessarily mean passion. That doesn't mean that you're operating in your gifting, but it's a start though, right? So what would you do different for like in terms of your the work that you do? Do you know what it is that you will actually enjoy doing? If so, what's keeping you? Look, this is just a conversation. I know it's always easier said than done. It's a process, but we have to know, we have to see what that looks like before we can actually start taking action steps to go in that direction until we can actually like leave where we are and start doing that. Make sense? So, question: what do you like doing? Just curious. You don't have to tell me. I'm just curious. So look, check this out. I kind of like spoke to this this past Sunday. Um, this is what I believe, right? When God created Adam, He put him in a garden and gave him a responsibility. In that garden, it was going to produce everything that he needed. He just needed to work it. Like everything was provided for. Everything was provided for, right? But when he stepped out of God's will by disobeying him, I'm not going to say he stepped out of his will. He disobeyed God, and God like removed him from the garden where he placed him to work, where he placed him where everything was provided to him. But when he disobeyed God, God kicked him out, right? So what if, like, obviously, I believe God created each and every one of us with a garden, either a garden of our own, like Adam. Obviously, it still belonged to God, but he had a garden of his own, or there are some individuals' purpose is tied to working in somebody else's garden, serving them, assisting them, adding their gifts and talents and their skill set to 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 grow that person's garden to what God seen. Make sense? So if God has given each and every one of us a garden, right? And like Adam, because we have to understand God created a place for mankind before he even created us. He prepared a place for us. Like Jesus said, he told his disciples, I'm gonna go away and prepare a place, prepare I forget his term. He said, I'm gonna go away and I forget what he said. And then he started talking about his father's house. There's like many rooms or something like that, right? So just like Jesus has gone away to prepare a place, like that's what God did. So when we leave, we have a place prepared for us. God created a place here on earth for us. So if he created a place here on earth, the ground was supposed to naturally produce abundance, basically all that we need. Then we have to ask ourselves, are we working in our own garden? Are we working in somebody else's garden? Now, yes, we may have to start working in somebody else's garden, but while we are not at work, we supposed to be working in our own garden. So when we get to a point where we're working in our garden and God say, okay, now it's time, that garden, whatever purpose, whatever gifting, whatever we've been called to do, then he will provide for us. He will provide for the purpose. He will provide for our everyday. But if we're not working in our garden, we're working in somebody else's garden, not even tending to our garden, not even caring about our garden, basically his purpose and why he created us, it's no wonder why the curse that God, the curse that the consequences from Adam's disobedience was that the ground will now produce thorns and thistles. So basically, it was preventing the ground to it prevents the ground from growing abundantly, right? And so he said, in order for you to eat, pretty much like you're gonna have to work for it, you're gonna toil, like you would eat bread from the sweat of your brow. So when we go to work, that's what it feels like. Because for one, it seems like it's never enough. And then we work our butt off for a small percentage of what we put in. You know what I mean? Like, so is it safe to assume because we are not working in the garden that God created us to work in, not living out the purpose and the calling that he created us to, the only reason why he created us? Is it safe to say that we are operating outside of his garden? We are going to our jobs and it's toil, thorns and thistles. Like I said, we have to provide, right? And we have to start there, but we're not supposed to remain there unless that's what he has called us to do. So we have to ask ourselves, are we living for God or are we living for ourselves? If we're living for ourselves, it's no wonder why we hate the jobs that we at. You know what I mean? Like if we're living for God, and that doesn't mean it's gonna be easy, but he provide in a way that no one can pay us unless our calling, our purpose is to go and assist someone garden, providing a product or a service or whatever it is, and then the pay looks different. We're not on your payroll in terms of hitting a clock. Like it's partnership, it's contracts, is you get what I'm saying? So the pay is different. God is providing through that way, if that's what he will for each and every one of us, if that makes sense. You love sports and helping animals. Do you think that, like, because nothing is wrong with those things, right? because sometimes we have to know what we love or in what and or what we enjoy doing for when we not at work. It could be a hobby that's to take our mind off of things, to kind of like we can decompress. You know what I'm saying? Like we can serve in these areas. So nothing wrong with that. You feel me? So if you can continue doing that, then continue doing that, right? But we don't. What if God have something in mind? I'm not saying he do. What if he have? What if he created you to do some things in these areas? How would you know, or how would I know what that is if I'm not seeking him first for a relationship and getting serious about why he created me? Make sense? So it's going to be hard. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. That is what's up. Continue like what we talking about. Go before him and like really like have a conversation with him. But when you go to him, make sure your heart is right in a sense of like I'm tired, because he see everything that we go through. Like he know that, just let him know I'm tired. Like I'm doing something wrong. You feel me? But in the midst of doing that, just ask him to make your heart desire what he desire. Like give that burning thing inside of you for a deeper relationship with him, a love for him. And you do that, and you start doing that daily, reading your word, praying, and talk to him more. Like they will come naturally. But why would he reveal these things to us if he know ultimately we just want what we want, but then we expect him to respond to that. You know what I mean? So yeah. But stay here, because we're about to start talking about the goals and everything, right? Um, so how are we showing up to work? Our energy, behavior, attitude, right? Then we have to ask, do we utilize our time wisely? What does our level of execution look like? Meaning our performance at work, because this matters too, right? If like his in his word it says that we and all do all things to the glory of God. So if we showing up on some mediocre stuff, if we showing up on some, you feel like, so how can we expect him to show us different or have an opportunity at that job or a promotion where we get paid more if we showing up a certain way, right? So these observations, like we really need to consider, because oftentimes certain things are avoidable, which either adds on or relieve us of our daily stress in the workplace. Because like again, how we show up, sometimes like we be getting attention from our managers, the bosses watching us. So quick story. So before I got into the trucking industry back in 2012, man, talking about on some below average stuff, like below mediocre stuff, like going to work, like all I cared. Look, some of y'all know, like I just live for the weekend. That's all I cared about. So my work ethic, my everything reflected that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I could be, I'm at work. I was working in the warehouse. So I'm at work and I'm over chopping it up with kinfolk now when I'm supposed to be working. Like if y'all ever worked or been in a warehouse, they have like the racks. Like I'm all looking through the racks, like watching, make sure ain't nobody coming. And then I'm so deep in conversations, then I so happen to look, my man finna hit the corner. I try to hurry up and slip over to the other aisle and come back around, back in my work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no wonder. It's no wonder why they was watching me. But I'm like, oh, they tripping. Nah, bro, like they know you one of the rotten apple, maybe the main one. You know what I'm saying? Like so with that, so I had so look, check me out. Look, it's all about perspective while we are at work, right? See, I was younger then. I didn't know no, I knew better, but I ain't know no better, right? So we have to change our perspective in the workplace, and that has helped me a great deal. You know what I mean? Like because it went from a couple of years getting before I got burnt out to like within a year getting burnt out. You know what I'm saying? Like and I'm like, nah, like this ain't it, right? But the only thing that has kept me is and was God has these years in the trucking industry. He has had me working in my own garden. So that's so I'm speaking from like experience. I'm not just pulling stuff out the sky and like it sound good. Like it has truly kept me. It has truly kept me. You know what I mean? Like because I believe it's much more than this. I believe the best is yet to come. I believe that I deserve more. I believe that Jeremiah 29:11, when he say, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord." I believe these things. So because he's given me vision and ideas and giving me instruct like this book, Show Up Different to the Workplace, Employee Training Guide, that I didn't write that of myself. I had no idea. But for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to bring you hope in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't like this not I didn't have like I didn't see this. You know what I'm saying? But it started when I got into the trucking industry and I realized like these a lot of these dispatchers and uh brokers and like they're not being held accountable, and us as truck drivers, we it's like we the one bring stuff here and there, but y'all pay us the least. Like y'all treat us like crap, and just seeing how things operate, I'm like, nah, this has to be done. I mean, something has to be done about this, and that's when it sparked. That was like in I got into the trucking industry in 2012. I think it kind of started like in 2014, 15, something like that. So it was that. So when it come down to purpose and what God created you to do, what are some of the struggles that you've been through or even going through? If if there are some things in the workplace that you would change, if there were things that you would change in other people's lives for the betterment of them, like you might be on to something. Maybe God called you for that. We have to I learned my struggles. I learned my purpose in the midst of my struggles, going through it, but without like trying to live for God, seeking him. Didn't do it perfectly, but like me start trying to seek him daily, especially like 2018. We're going to talk about the routine, how to create your success and conquer routine. But he gave me that routine. He taught me how to create a morning routine to where I can start putting him first. And I started doing that. A year and 4 months later, a few times he had to, he had to pull me from doing my kingdom duties, like, I think 2 or 3 times for like a whole week each time, because I started focusing more on the kingdom duties and less for a relationship. That's why I said we go to him, like we have to be serious about the whole relationship thing, because our works are like filthy rags. You know what I mean? Like it means nothing if it's apart from him, and it's not advancing his kingdom, benefiting his kingdom, his people. By no means. It's not about us. It's an honor that he uses us. It's an honor to us that he chooses to use us. Right? So like a year and 4 months later, like within that process, instructed me to focus back on him and only him. Don't do any kingdom duties. And within that time, like he revealed to me what my calling and my purpose was. You feel me? And I'm no more special than you are. Like you are his son, you are his daughter. Like he created each and every one of us with a purpose. But we have to get serious about why he created us and get about that life for him. Right? So we have to change our perspective. So now that I understand like that, okay, God placed me here, my perspective is different. So we have to change our perspective so we can start showing up different. And then we have to have self-awareness. What am I doing wrong? What can I start doing better? Right? And then we have to be honest with ourselves. Like, bro, it's you. Girl, it's you. Like you tripping. Like you on something else. You not doing what you supposed to do. You operating at a level that you know that you're better at. But because where I'm working now, I'm like, man, whatever. Like I see people at Walmart, you can tell they have this attitude. Oh, this is just Walmart. Customer service, terrible. Attitude, terrible. Can't ask them questions, terrible. You feel me? Like fast food restaurant, same thing. Because we look at where we are, we don't show up. And like at a level where our standards is up here. If you want to come catch me, you got some work to do. Right? But we'll cover that in a little bit. So what I had to do, what I'm gonna share with you all at the end of this is then like now that God introduced the 4A method to self-improvement to me, maybe like a couple of years ago. Um, 4A method. So it's like self-assess, make the necessary adjustments, accept the responsibilities, and take action. Right. So now what I have to do, I have to self-assess. If if things is going haywire or they're like, let's say like I'm being picked on, what I have to self-assess. What am I doing wrong or not doing that I'm supposed to be doing to where they watching me, that they giving me a hard time? Then I have to make the necessary adjustments once I write it down and identify those things. Now, what adjustments do I need to make to where I can start showing up to work different? So in the process, at some point, they'll get off my back because now I'm holding myself to a standard and I'm showing up to work different. And then now I have to accept the responsibility to show up to work different and making sure that I'm consistently on a daily basis doing what I'm supposed to do, not just enough to say I did it, but at a high level. And then from there I got to take action. So like in this book, Show Up Different to the Workplace Employee Training Guide to a Successful Career, I list there are 7 work life struggles in this book to where I apply the 4A method to. So for the reader, they can like just say pay increase. Like I apply the 4A method, which I think we'll talk about that tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. Right. So then like with that, it's either how to avoid burnout. Right. They don't value me. So what can I start doing to first value myself? 4A method, simple process. That's why the title is what it is, right? It's all about self-improvement. Once we begin to self-improve, grow personally, then as we show up implementing and being that standard, as we are on a quest to not necessarily do more, but transition into what we love and really want to do. Okay, does that mean should I get a certification? Should I take some type of schooling? Like what do I have to do? Some type of coaching, mentoring, whatever it is, right? That way it position us. And I'm not going to go into that because that's also that's with the pay increase thing too. So so we have to ask ourselves, we hate our jobs. What can we do different? We don't really like coming here, but we have to pay bills. But what can we do different? Because if we're not careful, we're going to spend the rest of our lives doing that, and that's going to suck. So what can we do to change that? All right. So 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 now if we're getting picked on and I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, like now it's time to have a conversation. I have to make sure my name is clean though. Because when I'm gonna first have a sit down with you, and if that doesn't work, then I'm gonna need to include your supervisor or your manager in as well. So when I plead my case, or when I present these things that I'm experiencing from this lead, from this supervisor, from this manager, then like you can't say that I show up to work late or have come to work, call in at the last minute. You can't say I have a stank attitude. You can't say I'm insubordinate. You can't say I'm not executing at a high level. You can't say my performance ain't isn't quality. You can't say any of these things. So really, why are you picking on me? Right? And that right there can introduce why God placed you there, because he need you to fix that problem, because you're not the only one that's struggling with that or going through that. There are a lot of other individuals, not just at that company, but other companies. So he want to use you where you are. He'll give you the solution to that problem. You work in your garden, he'll begin to download more. So then when it's time to present that, however it is that you should present it, then now you are in a space where you solving problems. You bringing forth a solution. And that right there is a like that right there, that's a different pay bracket alone. And that right there, like we begin like, especially if we enjoy doing these things now, because we doing what we enjoy doing, like we doing what God called us to do, and we making the money that we need for our family, and it opens up that freedom to go serve more, to go help out more, to go do what we enjoy doing on the side, to go do things that we love. You know what I mean? Like, so we have to change our perspective. And then we have to ask ourselves, what can we do different? All right. So again, how can we do things differently apart from the workplace with what we have been given control and permission to do? God give us each, for one, he give us a freedom of choice. So God has given us some type of control over our life. What are we doing with that control? Are we giving it over to someone else, to another company? Are we giving like all of our control over? Today you're gonna learn how to take that back. You're gonna learn how to take some of that back, one bit at a time. All right. So also, what you've been given permission to do, God has given each and every one of us permission to do what we were created, called, gifted, and purposed to do. The thing is, we not own what he want. We all about what we want. And oftentimes it's easy to get caught up in that when all we want to do is be a better provider for our families. Nothing wrong with that. And that has always been my thing with God. Like, I just want to be a better provider for my family. That's one of the things that I presented to him back in 2018. I just want to be a better provider for me and my family. I mean, for my family. It wasn't until maybe like a year or so ago that's when he said that there's nothing wrong with that. You are supposed to be a provider. But then he said, it's seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Matthew 6:33. So I'm like, okay, cool. I get it. Has things changed? Not really. But what he has done is position me and prepared me for the next level. Right? So it takes patience and being faithful. even if we slip and even if we fall, we have moments where we like just going through it. It has, man, it's been rough here lately, right? But he has been there with me. So with that permission, so we're giving all of our control away, and we're like when God created mankind, said, "Be fruitful, multiply, have dominion, and rule." Right? Adam gave over that dominion to the devil when he when when he was when he ate from the fruit. He gave dominion over. Right? So that permission that God has given us, guess what? We have handed it over to whoever it is, to where not only we've given that permission over, but we've also, like, we have no control over our life. And it's simply due to our decisions because we're so focused trying to make things happen. We can be more organized with that. We can be more intentional with that, right? And that's where that good routine gonna come in at. So how do so you guys kind of already told me how you feel about your jobs and everything. Um, so what are you doing at your job and definitely at home? I forget the scripture in Ecclesiastes. It says that like basically you go to work, cool, you come home, but when you come home, like basically do this, do that. Don't let your hand become idle because you don't know whatever it is that you're doing and these different things, you don't know which one of those things will work. So if we just going to work and then coming home and then that's it, there's nothing going to change. There's nothing going to change. Because ultimately it's like our actions and our decision and going to work and coming home not doing anything else, that is basically saying I have faith in my job that everything's going to be okay. And I'm not against jobs. I'm not at all. But again, we're talking about how to have a successful career, a successful life. So there are some things that we have to change. We have to get some of that control back. We have to take full advantage of the permission that God has given us here on this earth to do what he created and called us to do. Just going to work for a check, it's not going to help us. It's barely sustaining us now, especially with the cost of living and everything else that's going on. So if it ain't worked up to this point, it's a possibility it's going to get worse. How do we expect things to change for the better if we doing the same thing that we've been doing and getting the same results, and the fact that it's getting worse? How do we think that it's going to improve our life, our situation, our circumstances, our finances, and everything else? It's going to become much harder. So we need to figure out when we go to work, we need to have a focus. We need to have something, we need to have an aim. And then when we come home, we can't just come home and kick our feet up until it's time to go to sleep. And then on the weekends, sit up, watch TV all day, or go hang out, drive around, do this and do that, but we're not focusing on our future. We're not investing any time. We're not investing in anything for us like our future. So the question is, what future do we see? Do we, okay? So what are your goals? What are your goals? I have to ask you, what are your goals? Do you see a better future life? And do you believe that it's possible for you? These things are important because if we don't have any goals in life, what are we doing? What are we doing it for? If you don't see a better future life, then every single day you're not going to do anything. We're not going to do anything to work towards nothing. It's just going to be to pay bills, do a little extra with the little extra money we have, and then when it's time to go back to work Monday, we back in the same situation we was in the previous Monday, and the previous Monday, and the previous Monday 2 years before that, because we don't have any goals, and we don't see or believe that there is a better future life that's waiting for us. So we settle for the here and now. So when we do get a break, we spill all that break over in one moment, because what we see here is all we see. So we're not working towards nothing. So it's no wonder why a lot of us go to work just doing a bare minimum to keep them out our ear, keep them off our back, because like we honestly doing bare minimum. Um, so I want, I need you to change how you see yourself and your life. Hold on real quick. Sorry about that. I need you to change how you see yourself and see your life. Because if you see yourself in a way that may not be healthy, you see yourself as this little, as you would never believe that you deserve much more. And you actually do. Because you may not believe in yourself, that's all the more reasons to settle. Because I don't think I'm able to do it anyway. I can't take glory for this book that we're about to dive into right now, because that's all God. But I am proud of myself because I always believed that I was dumb. I always believed, like, because certain cousins and friends used to make fun of me when I was in school, and even in my 20s, what I'm saying, like, so I never believed in myself, right? And then here it is, this book, Show Up Different to the Workplace Employee Training Guide for a Successful Career. I'm sorry, to a successful career, is due to release on Tuesday. It's available to purchase now, by the way. You know what I mean? You don't have to wait. You know what I mean? You don't have to wait. But that's not only one. That's like, this is a 5-book series where I have most of the content already. I just have to put it together. And it's just basically my journey in the workplace, my struggles in the workplace. God giving me vision and understanding, and also like revealing to me how to, like, these problems and how to solve these things. Giving me the perspective and the mindset to not only see these things, but having a heart to, for others, because what they're going through. I know I'm good because, again, Jeremiah 29:11, but I still have to go through these things. But how can we change this so other people don't have to continue to go through this? Right? So that's 5 books right there, just for the workplace alone. Not including other books that he done had me to write that I haven't even released to the world. I mean, whenever he say, then we can go, but it's focused on what your will is. May your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So whenever, however, wherever, that's what we're going with, because it's not about me. But what I'm saying is, Like when he started to give me instructions and put things together, like what we're gonna talk about this, how to build your future on paper. Like he gave me this to put together, like in mini course form, like in 2018. So that's another thing. Make sure you guys are writing ideas down, because you never know when and how God is going to use that. You feel me? Like this, like 2018. Now this is in a book. Faith, Mister Faith over fear. What's happening? You feel me? So start writing these things down, whatever ideas or whatever that you feel like this is God giving. Like write those things down. You never know how He's going to use it. You never know. So when He started to give me things to put together, and one of them is a personal development program they had me put together a couple of years ago that include the anyway. So what He gave me was external explore for internal restore. So because I never believed in myself, like I hesitated on taking my GED for like 12 years until I had to, because I didn't think I was smart enough to pass the GED. I dropped out of school in 9th grade. I never thought I was smart enough. So when he started to give me things and like instructions and leading me to create things, put things together, external explore, I slowly began to believe in myself. I started to believe that it was possible. But most of all, my confidence, I started placing my confidence in him, because he know me better than I know myself. So what he's doing, he's restoring me internally. So you have to change how you see yourself. If you don't change how you see yourself, you will always settle. You will never walk in your greatness in which God has called you to do so. You will always look at, I can't do it. It's not possible. I'm not smart enough. Even when God give you the vision, and in that moment, are you like, let's go. All it's going to take is somebody coming up against you, or you hit a tough time where you start to doubt. You start to disbelieve. The enemy going to come at you. He's going to come at you with everything. And all it takes is just for that one thing. And then you're going to put it all down, and because you're going to be looking at your ability and I really can't do this. Who am I kidding? And that's a lie. God created you for much more. You got to believe. All right. So you have to believe there is better for your life. Also, you have to see the better life you deserve by seeing a brighter future. All right. So, so check this out. So before we dive in, it's crazy. Like we ain't even got started yet, and we're already an hour in. So, so first, let's talk about freedom and peace. So, like I wrote all this stuff down so I can stay on track, and also like provide you all what I feel that the Lord had me to write out to present to you, so you can get started today. And again, like this stuff we finna cover is actually in the book, so it's available to purchase if you guys like. But also, the link to the website, like I made a website. In fact, I done made a website and a few landing pages already. I never knew how to do that stuff. So like, it was hard. I went through it for like a couple of weeks trying to figure it out, but only to find out I was doing something wrong. Right? So don't be afraid to face the hard, because it's when you face the hard, you see that you can overcome it. When you face the hard, you see that you're stronger than you think. When you face the hard on the other side of it, it's not only the figuring it out, but you done tapped into another skill set. You done tapped into something that you actually enjoy doing. You done tapped into something that you like never knew, but discovered that you really, really, really good at. But we have to stop running from the hard, the difficulties, the challenges. I'm talking to myself too, by the way. So freedom and peace. First, freedom. You're not bound to that job, business, or relationship. Peace. You may have to make peace with that. This is a seasonal situation or placement, but it's not your destiny. So you have to believe that you have freedom, and you have to make peace with your current situation. But the next thing, freedom, because you're not bound to that job, business, or relationship, and that it's only seasonal. Now we have to see what does on the other side of this season look like, and that takes us visualizing and brainstorming. Peace. We're gonna have to make peace with the journey or process will take some time. So you're gonna have to be patient in the process. You're gonna have to be diligent with your time management and consistent with what you must do to change your current situational reality. Period. But it's possible. Because when Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, but plans to bring you hope in the future." Does your life look like that? Does my life look like that? If our life not looking like that, then he can't lie. So we must be doing something wrong. So we need to get it right. We need to get it together. Sir Minister, how you doing, my brother? How you doing? Hold on, let me close these blinds. So yeah, so we have to get it together. All right. So now visualize and brainstorm. Now we about to go into this book. All right. So yes, so this is workplace struggle relief Friday, but there's also the new book release chapter read, if that makes sense. All right. Again, show up different to the workplace employee training guide to a successful career that the Lord been preparing me to release for a little bit. So we are here. It's due to release on the 22nd. But if you guys are interested, you can purchase it. You can purchase it now on the website at the very bottom of the description of this live, and because we're gonna start doing more of these. Again, like I said, we in fact we have another one tomorrow, but I think we're gonna go for 3 o'clock tomorrow on that one, and we're not gonna go this long, right? I'm just now diving into it because we've been chopping it up. So now I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read. So this is chapter 2. And yeah, so look, check this out. Also in the description of this live is something that it's the landing page I created called Show Up Different. Show Up Different resource room. All right. And you can click it on here and the link of this live, and what we're about to cover in chapter 2 as well as chapter 3, you can download it. You can download those documents. I created it so like it's like a few documents. I got you. Why didn't you say so? Come on. Y'all tripping. You knew I had this ready. So this is what I was creating. This is what those forms look like for chapter 2, how to build your future life. So hold on. I actually forgot I had it over here. This is when I first created it. I had my wife to print it out for me so I can see what it looked like on paper. So I can, if I had to make any adjustments, then, we could. So, um, where's okay? Trying to get these together real quick. Okay, there you are. So look. So this is what these documents look like. It's basically what we're going to cover. So in chapter 2 of this book, it's it's um it's more extensive than this. I just summed it up. So I won't have to print out like 1,000 pages. I just summed it up. So you can it's like a little worksheet that you can read. Um and I'm showing y'all this, but again, you can click the show up different resource room link in here, and you can download this. It's going to take you to a page where there are a few different resources there. This being one of them, as well as how to create your morning routine. And that I call the Conquer Success routine. So once you create your morning routine, then now you can, once you learn the concept of it, now you can create your routine to where you can include any task that you must do. Like once you get your goals and everything, write them joints out, then you can, okay, what do I need to do every single day that's going to get me closer to achieving my goal? And then you can include that in your routine. Right, but again, that's a quick walkthrough. So I put that in a link below, so you guys can go ahead and download that. But what we're about to cover is actually in the book, and what you're about to download is from the book as well. All right. So, chapter 2, Architect. How to build your future on paper, dreams, visions, ideas, and goals. I don't plan on going through all of this, but I do have to cover most of it. So, the building process to your future starts with a dream and or vision, which can be viewed as previews of what's to come. We are then to manifest a dream and our vision into physical reality. Dreams, visions, hold on. Dreams can be clear and vivid. Dreams can possibly be the preview of what's to come, as well as visions. Visions are scenes of our future life to come, but we must construct, create a plan, a roadmap, pretty much, that will get us there. So you think about, you go to the movies, what do? They show you they show previews of the movies that's to come. Hey, let me know if this light right here is bugging. All right, I'll switch the camera around. So what do? Like they show previews of the movies to come, right? So I believe that God give us visions of the future life, whether it's what He created us to do, what it would look like in the future. Like I believe that He gives us vision. So like Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision and make it plain, right? So I believe He give us vision, so we have to write it down. So that's basically what we're doing here. So ideas. Ideas come from visualizing and or brainstorming from our thoughts, dreams, and our visions. So, how to manifest the dream, vision, ideas, and reality. Matter of fact, I'm going to read off this paper because I'm a mess around and read this whole. I'm gonna end up reading this whole chapter right here. So if y'all want the extensive version of this, you have to get the book. So, but this is just as good. You feel me? So, so how to manifest your dream, vision, ideas into your reality. Step 1: visualize and brainstorm. Visualizing and brainstorming helps to put your dreams, visions into perspective. The more you visualize, the more you visualize, the more clear and vivid your dreams, vision becomes. Visualize and brainstorm daily and often throughout the day if possible. Make sure you document what you visualize and brainstorm. Now, visualize and brainstorm. We have to visualize. 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 a brighter future life than what we have experienced in life and what we see. Even if you didn't had a dope life, you have to see past where you are. You have to see into the future, and we do that by visualizing. Then, like especially like with that's with the dreams and visions. So, and even with the ideas with this new project that God had me working on, which I think is probably be in the next book, but is to present to companies on behalf of the employees, but the company benefit as well. Is he remind me before I start the process of trying to write things down, you have to see it before you can write it. You have to see it in order for you to write it. You have to see what it looks like. You have to see it. You have to see it. You have to see it before you can create it. You have to see it before you put it together. You have to see it. You have to see it. So if we're not visualizing into a future, like there's no fairy tale stuff. There's no like it's none of that. Like really, like we have to take time. The best time to do this, like, is in the morning time. We have our one-on-one time with God, and like sit and visualize into like a future that we wish we could live or we wish we can have. And it could include material things, but let's not make it about the materialistic things that comes with it. But let's not make it all about that though, because God didn't create us just for that. He don't give us visions so we can. You feel what I'm saying? So we have to see what a better life. Like if I can choose what my life would look like right now, what would that look like? Man, I've been through hell. If I can visualize that life that I truly feel like I deserve, what would that look like? And start doing this every single day and document everything that you write down. Put it in your phone, write on paper, whatever you do, like wherever you write down notes. If you don't write down notes, start doing it. Because if you don't start seeing past where you are, what you are experiencing, it will carry on to next year, next year, next year, and next year. And it just continue until we start interrupting the norm that we've been living or experiencing, embracing. And then brainstorming. Like when we brainstorm, like it's crazy. Like when we was in school, you know how like they taught us sentence structure. It's crazy how important that is now. Because now when we brainstorm on an idea or when we creating or putting something together, that naturally kicks in to where, just say if it come down to solving a problem, right? I wish I can give you an example. I didn't prepare for this part. I didn't know I was going to talk about this, but okay. I give you an example. So my mission is to create a healthy, growing, and productive work environment by developing a um, a peace and harmony between and employees in the workplace, right? So with that, so what he had me working on is three. I don't want to say three concepts. Is basically a we know what the problem is. Why the companies have unhealthy environments. Okay, so what's the solution to that? He has given me a solution to it, right? So this the solution how to change that or how to improve that. Okay, how we going to maintain that, right? So now, so okay, now how we going to maintain it? So everything has to be in order. Same thing with creating a growing environment. Same thing. What's the solution? Like, what's the problem? Did I have the solution for it? Well, he gave me the solution for it. So how are we going to maintain this growing environment? So what's the solution to creating a more productive environment? How are we going to maintain that? So now where we have a solution, What really matters is maintaining it, right? So there is a process in which how we do that. So if I'm visualizing what that looks like or even brainstorming it, then like that sentence structure that they taught us in school, like that start kicking in. So it's like everything. So if it's out of order, it's not gonna sit right. Cause I'll be telling the Lord, like, for some reason, like, I see this, I wrote it out, but it's not sitting right with me. It seems like something is off. And I think he be giving me that to let me know it's not right. Everything you have is good, but you have to structure it correctly. So when we start to see that future, whatever, before we can start putting things in order, we have to write it on paper. We brainstorm this thing out, like we have to write on paper. That way we'll have a visual and we can start putting these things in order. And it's important because how are we going to create a step-by-step plan if, for one, we don't have it written down? For one, if we don't see what that future look like, if we don't write it down, if we don't brainstorm it, it adds to it. We're able to put more into the vision. We have it on paper, and then when it comes down to writing it out or creating a plan, we have everything we need on paper. And now we sit down before the Lord and we start writing this thing out. Make sense? So I kind of got ahead of myself, but y'all know me. So yeah, the more you visualize, the more clear and vivid your dream and vision becomes. All right, so you have to do this. Um, so what also helps with this is the time of day and the setting, right? Like I used to like even now sometimes like when I drive, I'm seeing, I'm visualizing, I'm thinking, I'm brainstorming, right? Like for some people it's sitting on a lake watching the sunset rise, or you get what I'm saying? Like it's whatever that peaceful place that you have or that you know of, where your mind is free to explore. Spend time there as much as possible so you can really see the vision, where you can really brainstorm it, and like it's like you experience it before you actually even live it. You experience it before you actually actualize it into your reality. I used to think people like was arrogant when like, did you ever see yourself here? Yeah. Like they said with confidence. And I used to like younger, I thought that was like, dude, arrogant. I get it now. They seen it, they experienced it, they lived it before they even like brought it into their reality. So like these things helps us, but we have to see it. We have to know what it looks like. And the more we visualize, like we'll grow an emotional attachment to it. We'll begin to believe that like this is my future that's coming. And all these things help the way it helps us in the area of how we show up to work. Big time. It changes our mindset, our perspective, and our attitude. We'll talk about that tomorrow though, if God says the same. All right. And what I'm talking about is it's in the book. So that's why I said it's employee training guide to a successful career. David, how you doing, brother? So, all right, moving on. Oh yeah, no. So again, make sure you document whatever it is that you visualize, whatever you brainstorm. Make sure you document it. All right. How many good ideas you guys ever had? And considering our mind has so many thoughts in a matter of minutes, in a matter of a minute, dang, I wish I would have wrote that down. I still be doing that sometimes because I'm not by my phone, or if the Lord give me instructions what to do for the day. I just did it the other day. He gave me 4 things to do, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'll remember this, but I forgot the first thing he told me to do. I can't go to him and be like, "Forgive me, Lord, I didn't do everything you told me to do." Well, like it got to a point like whenever he give me instructions for the day, he like, "Do you think you need to write it down?" And it's like it's like he said so casual to where it's like I take it as like, "No, I'm good. I got it." You know what I'm saying? But it's just his gentleness. You know what I'm saying? His gentleness and how he presented, but also giving me a heads up, bro. You need to write this down. You know, you be forget. You know what I mean? Like partial obedience is disobedience. Like period. Right? So make sure you write it down. Note, remember if you visualize yourself there, you can get there. So visualize often. And whatever you do, make sure you document it. Step two. I'm sorry. So with the architect, how to build your future on paper, what we're covering, it is a 5-step process. All right. So that was step one. This step two. Step one, visualize and brainstorm. Step two is document what you visualize and brainstorm. Right. So in this particular process, it doesn't have to be a step-by-step process. So like what I used to do, actually I still kind of do, but like when I was at work, what I would do when he gave me this like years ago. Um, so what I would do is like although I'm working, I'm still visualizing, I'm still brainstorming, and when I get an idea, I pull out a little notepad, write on that joint real quick, put it in my back pocket, and keep it moving. Continue on visualizing and brainstorming like while I'm working. Be careful doing that though. I don't know what type of work y'all in. I don't want y'all getting injured because you're not focused on what you're supposed to be doing. So I just gotta throw that out there, right? But that's what I would do, or I put in my phone real quick, and then I that way I can revisit it later. You know what I'm saying? Like so when I say you don't have to spend a lot of time on it, like whatever ideas you get, whatever visual that you get, like write it down real quick and keep it moving. You don't have to spend a lot of time on it. It may not be the time or the place for it. But what's important is that you write it down. And then like maybe later on that day or like do this over the course of the week, and then on Saturday sit down before the Lord and like, okay, this is what I have. Help me create this plan that you want me to prepare according to what your will is. All right. What are your personal life goals? What does your future life you feel you deserve? Like, what do you want in life? What do you want to have in life? Family, it could be material things. What does your dream or desired home look like? Where do you want to live? Where do you want to travel? If so, where? Like, like add a vacation home in that joint or something. Location. Add that stuff in there. Add it. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's when we put these things before God, when we make our life all about this, when it become our idol, that's when it's a problem. Because it could be included in His plan for your life, for my life. So don't be bashful with it. Write it down. If it's God's will, it's already in His plan. You feel me? Like He already know when. We just have to get there. But remember, it's always seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added unto us. So if we don't write these things down, though, what are we working for? If we don't see a better life, if we don't see something more for our life, a brighter future, we'll just be going to work on some. I'm just here to collect a check, and that's the story of a lot of us, because there's no purpose, there's no strong why for what we're doing. We just know we have bills, and we just know family vacation this summer, and we just know Christmas is coming up and holidays. That's what we doing this for. It's no wonder why like we not really living a I don't want to say a better life. I want to be careful with this. It's no wonder why I'm gonna keep it at we just going to work to collect a check. And the results and the outcome of that is what we experience every single day. We still struggling somewhere in our life, whether it's financially, whether it's in our relationships, you know what I'm saying? Like, you name it. It's a real thing. So what are your professional life goals? We have to know what those things are. What do you want to become professionally? What do you want to do, become professionally? Your career, industry, business owner, entrepreneur, investor, what? What? We have to think about these things. We have to sit in the dark, in the quiet, in the peace to like really figure this thing out. Like, this is our life. This is our future. We need to take it seriously because it's much more to our life than just this. Who do you want to help? Who do you want to serve? What organization or organizations would you start up? Like a ministry? What would it like? We have to know these things. So when we start to ask ourselves these questions, then things start to spark. But if we just ask ourselves these questions in passing, that's all it's going to be. What are the odds are we actually going to revisit it? I'll tell you when we probably will revisit it, when the next struggle come at work, when somebody make us mad at our job. It's like, man, I'm over this. Then we want to look at like but what if that's 6 months from now? And we're talking about this and you don't act on it now. So 6 months, you lost 6 months and you back and we having this conversation again. Get started now. Get started now. Again, this stuff that I'm sharing is actually it's in the book. The link to get access to that book is at the very bottom of the description of this live. And also there is like what I'm reading. This is actually out the book. This is actually out the book. So as you see, I got it up on the laptop. It's just in the book. It's a lot more information. So so this right here is this printout right here it actually sums chapter 2 up like a great deal. All right. So the next thing, the building process. So the building process. The building process to your future starts with a dream and our vision, which can be viewed as previews of what's to come. What are to then manifest it? We are to then manifest the dream and our vision into physical reality. So we cover that part. Visualize and brainstorm. I think I'm reading this all over again. Oh, I'm sorry. That was an overview. My fault. So that was step 2. Step 3, right? Prepare the plan. Prepare. Well, when did you come over here? Prepare. Sort, construct, and create the plan. All right. So you're going to prepare the plan, right? And how to prepare the plan? You sort, you construct, and you create. All right. So now you would look at like everything that you wrote down, like just say like over the course of the week, you wrote down what you visualized, the ideas, what you've been brainstorming and everything, right? You wrote it down. Now what you would want to do is look at everything that you created. And then you want to, on one side, short-term goals, on the other side, long-term goals. All right. So which are the short-term goals? You write all of the short-term goals on one side and all of the long-term goals on the other side. All right, your short-term goals are your checkpoints to get to your long-term goals. Your long-term goals are your destinations. All right. Again, short-term goals, those are your checkpoints. So if you wanted to, if you was going to create a plan, um, obviously from where I am now, what's step one? What I'm sorry, what's checkpoint one, checkpoint two, checkpoint three? Make sense? So if you driving out of town, like obviously you have a route. That's what you're creating with your plan. Your plan is your roadmap. All right. If you travel this destination, I mean this journey before, you kind of already know what your checkpoints are, where you're gonna pull over to go use the restroom. You know what I'm saying? Where you're gonna stop and get something to eat, especially if it's a Bucky's on the way. You feel me? Like, what are your checkpoints? All right, these are important because is going to your checkpoints are also your guidelines to make sure that you are on the right track, that you're not deviating from the plan, like you going straight. Does that make sense? Um, so this is what this document would look like. Basically, what we just covered. All right, so it's a simple deal. Like you download it. You download this. You download this if you go to the show up different resource room. I put that link in the description as well. And the reason why it's called Show Up Different Resource Room is because it is the resources that's in this book. All right. Um, so so the first thing you do is sort short-term goals, long-term goals. The second one is construct. Write your short-term goals, your checkpoints, in sequence order, which I kind of just explained that, in which you must accomplish that will connect you to your long-term goals, your destination. We just covered that part. Um, so then you create a action plan using your short-term goals as checkpoints, adding a bridge steps to connect to each checkpoint, your short-term goal that will lead you to your destination. In other words, if this is the checkpoint, this is the checkpoint, so on and so forth, right? What is that bridge that you have to do so you achieve this short-term goal? What do you have to do to achieve this short-term goal? What is that action step or those tasks or those tasks that you have to do that's going to connect you to this checkpoint next month, next week, in the next few months? So when we do this, this is how we create a step-by-step plan that's going to get us to that future life that we deserve. But we have to again see what that looks like. Does that make sense? It's only one of you in here, but does that make sense? Because I can talk about this all day long, but if you're not grasping it, then it's like, yeah, it sounds good, bro, or I'm confused. Like, does it make sense? So note, your step-by-step action plan should be the roadmap to reach each goal. In other words, step four, the building process, preparation. Prepare to prevent the unexpected from occurring that can cause you to fall or to be set back due to lack of proper preparation. This also takes visualizing and brainstorming into your future. Prepare yourself for the journey. Know the tools, in other words, resources you have access to and what you're going to need along the way. Know what's required of you. However, don't let this particular process keep you from getting started. Some things you'll find out along the way. Next thing, pay close attention to the details. Be precise and spot on as much as possible. Think of the what ifs. Think about what could go wrong. All right. So with that, so with preparing your plan. So the first part, let me back up. Prepare yourself for the journey. Know the tools you have access to and what you're going to need to, what you're going to need along the way, right? So if it's a professional, like you want to become a manager or whatever it is, like I said a minute ago, what training do you need? First of all, like what training do you need? What resources do you have readily available to you? We don't know what resources that we're going to need if we don't know what it's going to actually take to do this or become that. So we have to know what's the job description. We have to know what are some things that we're going to need, things we're going to have to put in place. And then we have to look at our resources. Okay, what do I have readily available to me? I might can't afford to take some type of course or class or something like that. But what do I have? YouTube, library. Go read a book, or you can buy, you can purchase the Show Up Different to Workplace book. You know what I'm saying? Right. So what do I have like that it doesn't require me to spend money or even much of it if I have to spend a couple of dollars? Resources. So then pay close attention to the details. So meaning like think about the what ifs, what could go wrong. That helps us, that keeps us from getting blindsided. Knowing what resources we have available and think about what could go wrong. That way, when we think, again, this take visualizing and brainstorming as well. When we know of the what ifs that could go wrong, we can easily put a plan in place to where we bypass that, or I had a feeling this was going to happen. I got something for that. Make sense? So do your research. Educate yourself on the need to knows. Be aware of what it's going to take. Once you have your plan together, get started implementing the plan. Don't play with it. Like, oh, I get to it tomorrow. Or I'll wait till next weekend. Like, guess what? Like, I mean, we can continue to put it off. The more we put it off, the less likely we're going to get to it. And then, not only that, like the fire that we had in that moment when we was writing those things down, it's going to fade. It's kind of like motivation. Motivation comes and goes. So while it's hot, while we're feeling that energy, while we're having a burning desire for it, let's act on it then. So that way, when it start that motivation fade, when it start to get a little cold, we already got a head started. So like we already have a head start. We have the because what we wrote down, we have the vision, we have the ideas, we have, so we can pick up there, or we can continue on until we get that burn again, we get that desire again. And what brings that back is visualizing, seeing ourselves there and believing that it's possible. So when we go through hard times at work, like we still can get discouraged, but it won't stop us because we know that it's much more better. It's much more coming. We know this is just seasonal. This is just for now. I have to be here. What do I need to learn here that I'm going to need there? What can I extract from these situations to where when I get there, or when God open up that opportunity for me to go in that direction or do something different, I'm prepared. I'm ready. Make sense? So, but start on it now, though. Start on it now, though, because it's I call it operating in the arena of your calling, right? And that's actually here in the book as well. Um, that helps us stay consistent. That helps us stay focused. Like that help us stay like motivated. You feel me? So yeah, moving on. So stay focused and eliminate all distractions while you're manifesting your dreams, visions, ideas into your physical reality. All right. Always remember your future is much brighter than what you can see. As long as you're staying in the trenches of making your dreams, visions, ideas becoming your reality, you'll always see the light in the unmotivated, stressful times of the building process because you have the layout and know what it looks like once your future has been manifested from what you built on paper. Like, does this stuff make sense? So we just talked about step 4, the building process, preparation. All right. So step 5, simple, get started. Building, what resources do you need and what resources do you have to begin the building process? Then evidence and proof. What is your evidence and proof that like this is the life for you? Like this is what you deserve. Your dreams, visions, and ideas that God has given you. That's enough evidence and proof, all you need. Don't look at where you are and what you're going through in life that where it's like, this is it. Like my life always been like this. And like you just tap out. You just say like, it's not for me. Bump that. That's all the more reasons why you should be like, nah, bump this dude. Like, I'm tired of living like this. I'm tired of experiencing this. I'm tired of having to go through this. I'm tired of the struggle. Like, when does it change? It starts with a decision right now to change it. So the evidence and proof is the dreams, visions, and ideas that God has given you. Start writing these things down. Start writing the ideas down. Start writing the vision and the dreams down. Don't look at it like, oh, that's too big. Like you probably in the right space if it's too big. If you perceive it to be too big, you might be in the right arena. Because again, Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you. But you have to believe. If you don't believe, none of this matters. So your ability. We always question, I don't have what it takes. I ain't smart enough. I I'm from the hood. I was abused as a child. I don't say that lightly, because we were too. I don't say that lightly. I'm just putting it out there like because we've been through the struggle, we are qualified. Because God orchestrated our life to be what it is, knowing what He created us for, who He has created us to serve, the life that He has created us to live in His Son Christ, we are qualified. So let's stop looking at the struggles, the things that we went through, childhood trauma, all these different things. Like, let's stop looking at that and letting that be the reason why we're not qualified enough. That's all the more reasons why we are qualified, baby. You feel me? You know what I mean? But you have to believe this. So what is your ability to make it happen? Knowledge, understanding, your wisdom that God has given you. Everything that you've been through. Your skills, your gifts, and your talents. You qualified. But you have to believe and know that you are. In other words, you have all that it takes and all you need to get started. You were born with it. According to, I'm looking for my Bible because I'm about to pull that joint open. Exodus 31:3. When God gave Moses instructions to, I think it was to build a tabernacle or something, temple, it was one of them. Oh, maybe it's the same thing. But he said the dude that was supposed to help him, he said, I have filled him with the spirit, with understanding, and all the things that the people he had with Moses to build this. He said, I have given them the skills to do artistic work, to do this and to do that. You have everything it takes to do it. You were born with it. He filled you with it. The ability, the vision, the dream, the ideas, he has given it to you. It's inside of you. We have to learn to, one, access it, and two, live in it. Breathe life into it. And believe that that is his will for your life. That's what he's calling you to. That he have a plan for you. He's waiting on you. He's waiting on me. We have to see it. All right, so that is chapter 2 of Show Up Different to the Workplace and Employee Training Guide to a Successful Career. So it's called Architect. I spell it Arkitek, and it's like I wish I had my shirt on. It's architect. Be the architect of your future. Meaning you have a responsibility. You have the responsibility to build your future life. You haven't planned up until this point. You have not been actively building your future. You just probably been just going along with the flow with it. And you end up here. If we continue on like this, then where is it going to lead us? Be the architect of your future. Now, understand though, he's the master builder though. He have the blueprint to your life. He have the blueprint to your future. God does. So with the dreams, visions, and ideas that he give you, this is a part of the blueprint. He's showing you what that looks like. Is your responsibility to build it out. That's why it's called How to Build Your Future on Paper. Because if we can build it on paper, we create a plan, then we can start bringing it to life, actualizing it until it's our reality. But you have to start with the dreams, visions, and ideas, visualizing and brainstorming. That's step 1. Step 2 is to document everything that you see in the dream, the vision, everything that you brainstorm. You have to write those things down. So then at the end of the week or whatever your time window is, then step 3 is to prepare the plan. Short-term goals, long-term goals. Construct the plan. What is the step-by-step process? And then create it. Once you do that, then step 4, it's the building process. That's when it's like, what resources do I have available to me? What am I going to have to do to make this happen? What are the what ifs? What do I need to watch out for to make sure that I'm prepared for when the storm comes? Or when I hit this roadblock, I already I kind of seen this coming. So you were able to brace yourself for it, or you already had a plan to totally my mind went blank. I'm looking in the sky, hoping it'll come back to me. You'll have a plan to where you won't even have to encounter that at all because you thought about the what if. Okay, how can I avoid this? Okay, bet, boom. You feel me? And then it's like once you create that plan, it's getting started, period. The goal was to give you something today that you could start today. And this is one thing right here. All right. So the next thing to changing your current reality is get control of your day. Get control of your day. So I call this the conquer success routine, right? Um, See, I don't have this on paper, so I have to read it off the book. Conquer success routine. All right. This is like it's a simple process of how to create your morning routine. Again, the resource is you can find that in the show up different resource room in the link of this description. I'm sorry, in the description of this live. So it's a three-step process: organize, structure, and schedule. Organize. When you wake up in the morning, I was going to actually read through it, but we going almost 2 hours in, and um, yeah. So I'm just going to break it down like this. So organize, structure, and whoa, I almost caught a cramp. Organize, structure, and schedule. So organize. When you wake up in the morning, what is everything you have to do? Put it in exact order what you normally do when you wake up in the morning. Write those things down. That's one section. And then you structure it, right? How long does it take to do each one of these tasks? All right. And then with that, then you schedule from 3 to 3:30, I do this. 3:35 to 4, I do that. 4 to 4:15, I do that. 4:20 to 4:45, I do that. You get what I'm saying? So again, like go to the show up different to the go to show up different resource room, and you can download that document there. It's gonna tell you exactly how to do this. These are the things that I extracted from show up different to the workplace. In fact, since I broke it down like that, I am want to share. I am want to share some of what's in there, real quick. Hold on, because it's specific details. Chelsea, how you doing, little lady? It's specific details in there that could that may be helpful. So again, I am. This is kind of like something what we're gonna do every Friday. That's the plan. You know, the man he can switch some things up at any moment. But it's all good. She said you'll be late. We're going almost 2 hours in. I'm trying to end it soon. But no, you good. I mean, it's a lot, so you can always come back to it. So basically, what we're doing is like this is something that um, the goal was because we think about work. Like we by Friday come, we're wore out, we're tired, we're stressed out. So like the first part of this, the first segment of this live was to for us to talk about some of those stresses, like what been bugging us, like at work, like some things that like basically to relieve it, right? Like get that off your heart, like get that, like just let it go, right? Because sometimes we just need to vent. So we wanted to come together and help each other get through that process. And then like find out what can we do different. If we don't like our jobs, we don't like what we do, what can we do different? For one, at work. Because how we feel about our jobs, that's how we show up. The energy, the everything, right? And that usually goes south for us. That don't usually work well for us, right? Because our mindset is off. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Perspective and attitude is just off because we really don't want to be here, but we just heard to collect a check, so we have to be here, right? So from there, it's like, what can we do different to where we can transition to doing what we actually love or enjoy doing, or actually want to do for, I don't know, till we retire or whatever, right? And then from there, what can we start doing differently, not just at work, but also at home? Because at work, like yes, we go to work and everything, but when we come home and we're not working on anything, like it's gonna make going to work hard, especially when it's somewhere that we don't want to be. But if we're working on something else on a side that we enjoy doing, love doing, something that we excuse me, something that we want to do full time at some point, when we start to go through those work life struggles, it's easy to keep the right mindset, the right perspective, and the right attitude, and we can continue showing up in a manner where like we operate from a certain standard. We're not allowing what's going on around us at our job to keep us from what we believe our future life look like, right? So that's kind of like a brief walkthrough where we was. So I have a new book coming out. Oh, you seen it last week or whatever. On the 22nd, show up different to the workplace employee training guide to a successful career. So the main thing was, let's talk about some of these work life struggles that you guys been experiencing this week. You know what I mean? Like to free yourself from that. And then this is also what we're doing now is the new book release, new book release, read, whatever. Don't judge me. Right. So I just read, some of chapter 2 of chapter 2 in the book, which is Architect, How to Build Your Future on Paper. Dreams, goals, visions. Dreams, visions, goals, and ideas, right? Or ideas and goals. So what I did was, because it's actually, chapter 2 is actually like kind of like an extensive read. So what I did was because I want to show you these documents real quick before we move forward. So this is what these documents look like. So I put a couple of two links in the description of this live. One of them is the show up different resource room. So basically, it's Architect, How to Build Your Future on Paper. Is like a couple of documents that will walk you through step by step. Again, this is from chapter 2. I don't know if you guys can see this well. This is from chapter 2. But again, I just summed it up to make it simple. Given that it's just documents that I really want you guys to work it out, and you can just really fill out like using school or something. And this will help you guys get started. All right. Just a few simple joints. So it's the 5-step process, how to build your future on paper. It teaches you how to create your actual plan to actualize your future life, right? So yeah. So you can find that there. And then here, what we're about to cover is how to create your morning routine. That there is also in the show up different resource room as well. Again, all that is in the link. It's in the description. So let me get to these real quick. I don't know why I thought I was going to be able to cover all this in 1 hour. I don't know why, especially knowing me. You know what I mean? Bear, what are you going? Where are you going? Come here, Bear. So again, the 3-step process to creating your morning routine is is organize, structure, and schedule. Okay, here we are. So routine, the foundation of your accomplishments, achievements, and success. All right, it's routine. That's perfect for where I'm at in my life. God's timing is always amazing. Show you right. Yes, He is. Yes, it is. So how you start your day set the tone for your day. What you do throughout the day. So let me rephrase this. So routine, the foundation of your accomplishment, achievements, and success. So it's how you start your day, sets the tone for your day, what you do throughout the day, how you end your day, how you aspire to become, and what you aspire to do. Routine is your commitment to accomplish in life whatever you set out to accomplish. However, if you do not have a developed, scheduled routine, this can and will become the reason for not becoming and doing in life what you were created, called, and purposed to do. Hold on. 1 second. I accidentally. Why you keep doing that? Okay. So conquer success key is preparation. So before creating your conquer success routine, you must realize your tomorrow always start the day before. Meaning whatever task, parentheses, to-dos in your morning routine that have to be done, if you can do it the day before, do it. Tasks such as showering, getting your clothes ready, earning, making your lunch, and or putting gas in your car, etc. Um, so, question. How much time do you lose in the morning doing what you could have done the day before? If you do those tasks the day before, that's fewer tasks you have to do in the morning, which frees up more time for you to actively work towards achieving your goals. Create your create your conquer success routine. So, what time do you wake up? Complete all of your morning. Leave your home in enough time to arrive at your morning destination 30 minutes early. That's the goal, 30 minutes early. All right. The 30-minute arrival time goal is preparation for unexpected delays that can occur, like a car issue, traffic accidents, road closures, and detours on your morning commute to your morning destination. If you encounter any delays on your commute, it will deduct from the 30-minute grace period time you granted yourself to prevent you from being late to your morning destination. Organization. Write down write down this. I'm doing this thing on this laptop, and it sucks. Write down your morning routine, your task to dos, in the exact order from time you wake up to the time you leave on your morning commute. All right. So what is it that you do in the morning from time you wake up, in step by step process? I'm sorry, in order, in sequence order. What do you do when you wake up in the morning? From the time you wake up to the time you have to leave on your morning commute. So I give an example. So again, this right here, what I'm reading, I, I extracted this from the book. It's in the resource room. So write down. So I give the example. So I put 7 things. This is not my routine now. It has changed since I first created this. Um, But the first one is wake up, second, restroom, third, pray and read, fourth, breakfast, fifth, shower, sixth, get dressed, and then seven, leave for work, school, etc. Right? So that's in order. So then that's the organization part. Structure and schedule. Create time windows for your routine. How long does it take to do each task? Write down how long it takes next to that task. Example, wake up, right? So restroom, 10 minutes. That's to use the restroom real quick, brush my teeth, wash my face, all those things. So that's 10 minutes. Here, matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all what that looks like. So that's what that looks like. So in the organization part that I just read, it was just this right here. So the structure and schedule part, then we just write the how long it take to do each task. And then at right here, we add up the minutes. So how much is how long is that? 2 hours, right? So reverse engineer example. Hold on, let me I swear that's not a cold beer. You know what I mean? The man delivered me from that going on 2 years ago. So don't judge me. I mean, so uh reverse engineer example. What time do you have to be at work? At the time, it was 9 a.m. Go 30 minutes early, 8:30. How long is your morning commute? If that's 30 minutes, leave for your commute at 8 o'clock. How long does it take you to do all your morning tasks before you leave for your commute? It's 2 hours. Your wake up time should be 5:45 a.m. to give you a 15-minute grace period for a little cushion as you complete your morning tasks, and also for warming up your vehicle or anything unexpected that can occur. All right. So so now we're gonna create the time windows. So this is what your morning routine should look like. Again, so it said your wake up time should be 5:45, right? That's just your simple morning routine. I'm trying to get this right because this laptop it's not positioning how I need it to. All right, so look, this is what this look like. All right. So that's what your morning routine should look like. Whatever it is that you have to do in whatever order. When you get done with it, this is what that should look like. 5:45 to 5:50, wake up. 5:50 to 6, restroom. 6 to 6:45, pray, read. 6:45, 7:15, so on and so forth. Organization, structure equals balance, and the result is less stress. Again, that's what your that's what your morning routine should look like. You created time windows for your routine. And as long as you follow your routine, you are consistent with it, naturally, by default, you will become disciplined with this because it's routine. So because everybody have a routine, but not everyone have a organized, structured, and scheduled routine. We be all over the place. No wonder why we running late. We be all over the place, overwhelmed. No wonder why we stressed out before we leave home. Because our routine is not working. Our success and our failure, or our success or failure derives with our routine. All right. So there. Um, so tips, trial and error. Use the first 5 days to test your schedule routine. Second, assess what works and what does not. Do you need to change your routine up a bit? Do you need to make time adjustments? The third thing, tweak according to what best serves you. The fourth thing, after making changes, give it another test run. And then tweak accordingly. Repeat if necessary to get it right. Look, this like 2018 when I was at the lowest point of my life at that time. Anyway, life I've experienced more um, since, but no, I went to guys like this. This can't be working. What was the going to these jobs and it just wasn't working. Like it's just I'm burnt out and like I'm doing everything I can. I'm still struggling everything like this. Your word said be fruitful, multiply, have dominion and rule. I'm not. I'm not any of those things. I'm failing in every area of my life because I believe your word over what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. I must be doing something wrong. So understanding that, with that, asking him to reveal why he created me, what is my purpose, and showing me the way, I knew I had to put him first. I had to make my life about him first above all, right? And there was a point in my life. I'm still there, but it's something about when we're broken and going through it. Like the help is different. The heart, the prayer, everything is different, right? And that's where I was. You know what I'm saying? So then he like knowing that I have to start my day out first, I'm like, okay, so what time do I need to meet with you in the morning? He's like, I think he said 3:45. No, he said 4. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But I understood. I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm like, 4 o'clock. I don't have to be at work till 9:30. What am I gonna do 5.5 hours? And then he said, this is you're gonna have to create your routine. And it was this process. It's just over the years, like it's been 7 years, like it has developed to be what it is now. But this is the exact same process that he gave me. He had me to write down everything that I had to do in the morning. And then he had me to how long do it take to do each task. And then I had to schedule it. Exactly what I showed y'all. So this is not something that I created for myself. This is what he gave me so now I don't necessarily have to write down like a routine. Like I know what I need to do when I wake up and I just rock with it. Like if I'm planning on going somewhere, I am a truck driver, so rephrase that. At my job, like I'm a truck driver by profession, by trade for now, right? But so it's I've learned how to proper plan. So when I have to be somewhere, like first of all, everywhere I go, I put on my GPS, even if I know where I'm going. I hate traffic, so I'm always looking for the fastest route, right? So it's just certain things that I do naturally. It helps me navigate through my day to day with it started with this routine and then the proper planning and like knowing everything I need to do instead of writing things down for tomorrow if I have like this big day or whatever. Like I know what I need to do. I know what time I need to be there. I know what time I need to wake up or get started. I know everything I need to do in the process and what time I need to be out that door. Right. So once you do this, and understand the concept of it, then your day would be less stressful. Your execution would be more effective and time will be much more efficient. Like this is real, for real. And there's much more. There's much more here in chapter 3, but we're going to move on again. And I feel okay with moving on because you guys can go to the resource room and download this right here and do your little step by step process thing. And like the goal was to give you practical things today that you can implement today that will be a benefit for you tomorrow. So you guys have the opportunity to go ahead and start writing out your morning routine. So when Monday come, you ready to hit the ground running. You ready to hit the ground running. You feel me? Also, so once you get this, again, like I said, you whatever you have to do, whatever goals that you have, like you'll be able to include those things in your morning routine. So I don't know when though, but in this book, there's something. Like I said, this Conquer Success routine, it has developed greatly since 2018. Now in here is included in foundational health goals, right? Spiritual health, emotion, spiritual health, mental health, emotional health, and physical health. All right, this is in the book too. All right. So with that, y'all know that. So my spiritual health goal is always to have a more intimate relationship with Christ, right? So y'all notice in that routine is pray and read. So that's my foundational health goal. So it said wake up at 5:45, right? But when he was like, be before me at 4 o'clock, I mean I need to be up at 3:45. So my foundational health goals, like spiritual, is in there. So once you understand a concept, whatever your goals are, your foundational health goals, your personal life goals, professional life goals, you know what those things are, what you have to do every single day to achieve those things, you'll be able to include that in your routine. That's why it's called Conquer Success Routine. Right now, we're just working on your morning routine to get that concept right. So you can get the concept right, the organizing, structure, and scheduling. Once you once you tweak your morning routine how you need it, then you'll know what you can add in there, how much time. You need to know what you need to take out of your morning routine too, because it's all about time management. All right. And then you're gonna have to wake up a little earlier. You feel me? You be like, I ain't waking up at 4. I ain't gotta be at work till 8 o'clock. Well, that mindset right there, that's why nothing much is gonna change. It's impossible for me to wake up at 4 o'clock. I ask you, what time do you go sleep? 10, 11, 11:30, 12 o'clock. First of all, what you doing up that late? It ain't my business. Forgive me, I ask. But like it's going to be hard to, like, you might do it a couple times out the week, but by the end of the week come, you're going to be shocked, and it's going to be easy for that routine to go down the drain. But if you lay down at least by 9 o'clock, be relaxed, and you pass out by 9:30, 9:45, cool. It's nothing to wake up at 4 o'clock because you actually got rest. But you're going to sleep late, you can watch that. Make sense? So so now you must change the way you show up to work. Now we're gonna walk into chapter 4. I finna try to speed this up a little bit. Now this resource right here is not in the resource room. This is in the book. I actually could have created a link for it, but um, I'm actually using this to send to like schools, trade schools, vocational schools, even colleges, even jobs. Because like my mission in the workplace is to do this, right? So with this right here, this is I just extracted chapter 4 and the top part of chapter 5, what we about to read, and this is what I send out to companies. All right. So they can kind of see what this employee, because they can take this employee training guide and train their employees. And yes, it's really beneficial for their employees, to get them right, like mindset, like the skill, like everything, the way they like basically get them to show up to work different from how they been, setting a standard, right? But then to the company benefit from it too. But I got other things I work on. I'm working on that I'll send out too. But this is it right here, chapter 4. Workplace environment etiquette. Elevate your standards. Character. Your quality of work should reflect who you are as a person. Listen, we have to show up to work different, regardless if we don't want to be there, regardless if we don't like that job, or it's at Walmart or McDonald's. Who cares? We need to operate at a level of excellence, regardless of what we do. Yeah, scripture said, do all things to the glory of God. So if we say we are men and women of God, like how does our show up reflect who he is? How we honor him. And how we honor him, is it showing up how we show up? Shout out to Indonesia. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. How you doing, Miss Lady? So, character. Your quality of work should reflect who you are as a person. Therefore, take pride in what you do and how you do it to make sure if your name is on it, then it holds a high level of standard and it is at a quality that is immeasurable. Integrity, take ownership always. Always own up to what you did or didn't do without excuses. Make the necessary make the necessary changes and adjustments. Then challenge yourself to do better. Always do the right thing, even when no one's looking. Values, elevate and uphold your standards. No compromise, no exceptions. Workplace environment etiquette, work ethic, attendance, show up. All right. Attendance, show up. Show up for work every day. Be on time. Golden rule, 30 minutes early. Call in only when needed. Be courteous to call well in advance, preferably 2 hours before shift starts for your manager to find someone to cover your shift. Seek your company policy for specifics. Don't take advantage of the grace given to you by your employer. Like we take their kindness for weakness, some of us, and we go on our slacking and no more of that. All right. Performance, second thing, performance, mindset, perspective, attitude. Take pride in what you do. Aim to do it right the first time. Go above and beyond. Go the extra mile. Go all in, go all in, go all out. Set the standard. If anyone wants your position, make them sweat for it. It shouldn't be easy to replace you. Set the bar high. If someone covers for you when you are absent, no one should do your job better than you, period. Period. Internal fulfillment over external validation. Don't seek applause or recognition from your boss. Do what you do at a high level because your name is on it. Your opportunity may come through where you don't want to be or doing what you don't want to do. Don't complain, just change your perspective and go hard wherever you are placed. Third thing, be willing to serve. Develop the heart to serve. Always be willing to help others. Stay a little longer or later to help if you have the opportunity. Attitude, the fourth thing, your attitude will reflect your good or bad character. Your attitude will open or shut doors. Attitude does reflect leadership. Can we all agree? I got you on that one. So make sure you're being a great leader by governing your attitude. Don't be the problem. Instead, provide a solution. Complaining solves nothing. If you're not going to do anything to change it, then why complain? Don't be a complainer or entertain complainers. Stay focused on your tasks, execute, and leave when it's time. Crowds. Stand out without fitting in. You're not there to make friends. If you meet a couple of good friends there along the way, cool. If not, that's cool too. Either way, keep the extra socializing to a minimum. You're there to do a work. Provide a great quality of work while you're there and go home knowing you gave your team members and company your all. Discernment and wisdom. When you start at any job, there will be individuals who show you the rope. Be careful not to allow them to influence you negatively in any way, even if they're providing you with useful insight. Remember, their personal experience with an individual or with the company doesn't mean it will be yours. Use discernment and wisdom. Extraordinary. Here this morning at 9:30 a.m. I feel very blessed to get a spiritual shower. Thank you. I appreciate that, Miss. Glory to God for sure. Glory to God for sure. So again, this is my new book that's coming out on the 22nd. You can pre-order if you want, Amazon, Barnes and Noble. However, if you click the link to the website I created for this book, you'll get access immediately. All right, you don't have to wait till the 22nd. Again, it's Show Up Different to the Workplace Employee Training Guide to a Successful Career. All right. So after each chapter, I included something called addition, right? So this is like extra insight, strategy, or tips, right? So this particular one is workplace environment standard. Show up different. Show up different is a standard that one is called to uphold. The standard requires one to show up and go all in to perform at an extremely high level. The integrity in upholding that standard requires accountability and and challenging yourself to produce quality work every time that is impossible for most. Let me run that back. The integrity in upholding that standard requires accountability and challenging yourself to produce quality work every time that is impossible for most, if not all, to reach. So in the manner that you operate, like it should be a challenge. It should be hard for someone to meet your standard, or if anybody at all. That's how we need to show up. Period. All right. Oh, I need to plug this laptop in real quick. All right. So, mindset. I want to be the best. This what we should be on. I want to be the best. So I challenge myself to produce better every time to improve my previous results. You are your competition. Always challenge yourself to produce a better result than your last. Perspective. If it has to be done, I want to be If it has to be done, I want to be called upon to do it. No one can do what you do like you do. So always do what you do, but at an extremely high level. Attitude. I want to be viewed in a certain light. My attitude will either illuminate or dim. Reputation proceeds. Reputation precedes. Your attitude will position you for or keep you from opportunities. All right, so we're gonna walk into a little bit of chapter 5. Don't worry, we come to a close in about 10 minutes, maybe. Chapter 5, become the one. How to grow and develop personally and professionally. I want to say this is my favorite, but it's not. It's just one of them. 5 character traits you should develop or adopt to become part of who you are. First one, honesty. Always tell the truth, even if it costs you. Integrity. Second thing, your character is everything. People will depend on you or not based on what you can do. More importantly, they would trust you with, fill in the blank. What would they trust you with? Because of who you are. So focus on improving the quality of your being. Don't just focus on the quantity of what you can produce. Third thing, humility. Remain humble. Be willing to serve and help others. 4, passion. Develop in parentheses, have a strong desire for what you do at a high level. 5, always take pride in what you do, not in who you are. When you take pride in who you are, you welcome in a prideful spirit where it becomes about you and receiving glory for yourself. In parentheses, great character flaw and violation. However, when you take pride in what you do, you execute at a high level and the work you produce will become high value, which then will speak for itself. in parentheses, because you first took pride in what you do. As you include these five character traits on the road to becoming a better version of you, implement the 4A method to self-improvement to grow and develop into who you must become personally and professionally to reach the level of success you were destined to. What is the 4A method to self-improvement as we get ready to close? First one is, so the 4A method is self-assess, make the necessary adjustments, accept the responsibility, and take action. All right. So early at the beginning of this live, I spoke about being picked on. When I was prior to me coming into the trucking industry in 2012, I worked in the warehouse. Attitude sucked. Like I was always talking. Performance level was low. Like I mean, it was just poor, bad, like terrible. You know what I mean? Like looking between racks, you know what I'm saying? Seeing if my supervisor coming because I'm working over there. I'm supposed to be working over there, but I'm way over here with my partner chopping it up. You know what I mean? So it's like I was always being picked on. I ain't know it. Like I looked at I was being picked on, but like they knew I was a rotten apple. They knew they needed to watch me. So then, now that like God gave me this 4A method to self improvement like a couple of years ago, so now with individuals at my job that I encounter at times, like they be having like it's like they all some of them be some of them get watched and seem like they get picked on. So now I have like a clear view of what's happening. Like it's like me living it all over again, but through somebody else. So now because of I have an understanding and obviously I matured in these areas, then I can give advice like without just saying like, bro, like, you know what I mean? I just be like, just make sure whenever you come in, like you come in on time, make sure that like, make sure like you doing what you supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like make sure you ain't riding the clock, just different things like that. So now, so I have included in here 7 work life struggles that we experience in the workplace. So tonight, I'm only gonna cover being picked on, right? But I'm gonna tell you what the others are. And I think tomorrow, I think we're supposed to be covering. I think tomorrow we're supposed to be covering 2 of these. But look, you can cover all of these. You go ahead and cop this book, though. You know what I mean? Yeah, full access. You know what I mean? But no, all jokes aside. So look, so I got to read this though. So the 4A method. So the 4A method is a self-improvement process that will develop in you what's required of you as a person that will position you to receive the fruits produced from your labor once your personal development has begun and or fully occurred. The 4A method can also be viewed as a self-implemented process one voluntarily undergoes for the purpose of achieving goals. However, without self-improvement, learning, maturing, growing, and developing in areas, necessary specifically for the goals you're looking to achieve, you'll prolong or prevent the process that's there to help you achieve those goals. So, example, what is your goal? So the 4A method to self-improvement. The first one, self-assess, right? What tasks must you do every day to bring you closer to achieving your goals? Adjust, make the necessary adjustments. Stop doing what's keeping you from achieving your goals and start doing what will. The third, accept the responsibility. Accept the daily responsibilities of who you must become and start doing what you must do that's required of you to achieve your goals. Fourth thing, take action. Show up every day doing all you must until you achieve your goals. Now that I've given you a brief example overview of how the 4A method to self-improvement works. Next, I'm going to walk you through examples of 7 common work-life struggles that employees go through, which I've encountered over the years personally, and how to navigate throughout those struggles, implementing the 4A methods of self-improvement you you're either going through currently or what you will encounter in the future that will render benefit to you. All right. So first we have to tweak some things. How to view struggles in the workplace. Perspective. See problems as opportunities. The problems you and or others notice and think of and say if they did this or if they tried that, etc., are possible solutions to the problems that you can use to create a change within a company. The objective is to always lead by example. Change. What change can you make now? What change can you make now? Impact. The effects on those around you. Opportunity, which will position you for an opportunity later. Company progression. Opportunity. What improvements can be made that create an effective impact, which will create a needed change that will produce growth for the company. All right. It's all about mindset and perspective. Hold on, let me check on this dog. You can't trust the puppy. You know what I mean? Hold on. All right, so it's just a simple mindset and perspective shift, right? So God says the same. So I'm planning to do this tomorrow as well. We're not gonna go through everything that we covered like we did earlier, but we are going to go through a couple of these tomorrow. One being the mindset, like understanding how having goals for ourselves will actually change our mindset, perspective, and our attitude in the workplace. It did it for me. All right, and I'm going to explain. I'm going to read from chapter 1, explaining that. So here are the 7 common struggles that we encounter in the workplace. Pay, not getting paid what you're worth. All right. I want to read that, but I mean, we're gonna bypass that today. Um, so what is the goal? Pay increase. All right. The second one is not feeling appreciated. So what is the goal? Feel appreciated. The goal is to feel appreciated and be fulfilled, right? And then the third one is being looked over. That's kind of like one of my favorites right there, like because how that is broken down. In fact, on never mind. Um, in fact, if you go to my, it's on the Workplace Advocate show, my other YouTube channel. But you have to search for that. I did that like 5 6 months ago. It's a little skit, right? But if you go to my Facebook page, you'll be able to access it. Like it's so if you want to go to my Facebook page, it's Robert Claiborne, which is the name on here. Um, so and there I'll speak about like I do like a little skit, like I was on the phone with somebody, like you being looked over or whatever, and then this process here that's under that, I just basically like just explain to them this what we have to do to get you positioned in red light. It's super cool, super cool. You know what I mean? Or same thing on Instagram, like I have that on there too. In fact, on Facebook and Instagram, my Instagram, like I have more content on there from the book as well. So anyway, so being looked over, you've been looked over for a position, you feel like politics and this and that or whatever. So what is the goal? How not to be looked over for an opportunity, but considered and or offered the opportunity. And again, that's broken down like super cool. Um, we getting there, y'all. We getting there. We almost about to close this thing out. The fourth thing is being undervalued. So then the goal for that is learn how to value you, and that right there is that's one we're gonna cover tomorrow. If God says the same, like learning how to value you, that one right there, man, that's because if we don't value ourselves, how can we show up? How can we show up at a significant level? Like, how can we have the confidence in ourselves to go for it? How we gonna have the confidence in ourselves to do something or to believe that you get what I'm saying? Like, it's very important. Um, So on Facebook, it's you'll see me. I'm in a picture with my son. I want to say in the background, look like we're on a beach or something. Um, and let me see something real quick. Let me see if I can put it up on here so I can show you what the picture looked like. So I can't because this phone actually is off. Hold on. I was gonna let. Oh, now it's telling me to log in. Oh well, I don't even know the login. So what you can do, Sir Minister, if you go to any one of those links in the description. Okay, I got you. I got you. I often say if you go to any of the links in the description of this live, one of them it'll take you to my website, and at the very bottom you can click on the Facebook. You can click on the Facebook icon, and then it'll take you there as well as the other one. But I got you though. So let me see. So learn how to value you. That's very important. That's very important. So the fifth one is being picked on. That's the one we're gonna cover real quick, just to give you an example how the 4A method works. And then hold on real quick. I wanted to share with y'all the last two real quick before I go over that. Um, oh yeah. So what is the goal then? Change how you are perceived to be seen for who you are. All right, so that's the goal. I mean, that's the goal for being picked on. Then speak about peace and purpose. The sixth one is, I think all of us have experienced it, and some of you probably going through it now, is burnout. Burnout. Yeah, we talk about burnout in that too. I mean, in there too. And so, what is the goal then? Learn what fulfills you, and then for a method, I'll walk you through that process, and then the final one is toxic environment. Be the example. All right, so let's go back up to um, so being picked on. The fifth one is I have a work history of being picked on. Prior to 2012, I didn't have a great work ethic. My attendance wasn't the best. I didn't take my work or life seriously. When I spoke of not being like others, becoming a part of groups, yep, I was once that person. I was always standing around shooting the breeze when I was supposed to be working. It never failed. I was always getting caught. I always got caught. So it was a wonder why I always got picked on. Correction. I was never picked on. My managers and supervisors knew who the rotten apples were, and they kept an eye on us, specifically me. You know what I mean? So hey, it's real though. You feel me? So for you, maybe your lead supervisor or manager sees potential in you, and you aren't living up to that potential. You don't apply yourself, nor do you take what you do seriously. So maybe pushing you looks like picking on you, when in action and when in which in actuality, the editor, he totally changed that. It's a when in actually. They're challenging you to reach your greatest potential. Note, this isn't always the case, so you must determine if this applies to you. All right. So maybe maybe your attendance isn't that great, and you have a poor work ethic. When you are at work, your performance is low, and every time your boss sees you, you are talking or simply not doing your work. That was me. So maybe your getting picked on looks like holding you accountable to your responsibilities in the workplace. Maybe you are the negative employee who always, like, look, you got to forgive me. It's just kind of funny how this is explained, like just with the different examples. It's just funny. um Maybe you are the negative employee who's always complaining and causing problems in the workplace. So maybe your lead, supervisor, and or manager addressing the toxicity you're creating in the workplace looks like picking on you. But that's them letting you know, hey, this type of attitude and behavior will not be tolerated here at our company. I'm just saying though, you know what I mean? Or whatever the scenario is. This is where the 4A method come in. The 4A method to self improvement comes in. That, like, it's not looking at everybody else. It's not the politics. It's not this. It's not the race. It's not the this. Now, sometimes it is those things, but when we self assess, like, then we have to look in the mirror. Is it something that we're doing wrong? Is it something that we can do better? Right. And then that's how we narrow this thing down, and then we can start, making necessary adjustments. So the goal is to look at yourself to see if there's any legitimate changes or adjustments that can be made. Remember the 4A method to self improvement. The focus is to see how we can self improve, to always make sure we learn and grow. What scenario do you fall in? No, there's always a better solution. Choose that route. So, what is the goal? For a method to self improvement, what is the goal? Change how you are perceived to be seen for who you are. First, self assess. Why are you being picked on? Do you honor the policy and comply with all the rules of your company? Is it something you are doing or not doing that's bringing the unwanted attention to you? Is it your attitude, behavior, and negativity that's bringing on the unwanted attention? Is it individuals you surround yourself with that are bringing unwanted attention? Um, The second one, adjust. Make necessary adjustments. Honor the policy and comply with all the rules of your company. Choose your mental and emotional health. More important. Don't get upset about what you do not have control of, but focus and execute on what you do. If necessary, consider employment elsewhere. Choose your circle wisely. Remove yourself from circles that aren't a help to you. If they aren't helping, they're most likely distracting you from where your focus should be: growth, development, advancement, promotion. They could also be the reason you're being picked on, also eliminating you from any possible opportunity that's to come in the future. So no, if they're not helping you, then yes, they're hurting you. The third one, accept the responsibility. Be accountable. Hold yourself responsible for you, your decisions, and accept what you have control of. Change what's necessary for your best interest and those you are responsible for. Your future and your destiny, fail or succeed, depend on you and what you choose to do moving forward. Fourth thing, action. Take action. Make the decision to make necessary changes, moving in the direction of your future. Your future is much brighter than what you may be able to see at the moment. I promise you, though, you'll. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. So the final one, make the decision to make necessary changes moving in the direction of your future. Your future is much brighter than what you may be able to see at this moment. I promise you though, you you will never know, live or experience your brighter future, which is what you deserve, if you don't begin making better decisions, choosing your circle wisely, and focus on where you're going. Where you are now isn't your final destination. Your brighter future and better life is waiting on you. Take action today. If you are an individual who's being picked on, discriminated against in the workplace due to your gender, age, race, culture, religion, etc., I want to encourage you to one, embrace, accept who you are, all of you. Never minimize yourself or anything or anyone. Have a conversation with the individual or individuals you feel is picking on you. Let him or her know what you notice and how it makes you feel. Ask them if it's something that you're doing wrong or not doing. If it's not legitimate, respectfully speak up for yourself. If what they're telling you is legitimate, let them know you improve and are rectified. If you need assistance, communicate that. Let them know moving forward if there is an issue to please pull you to the side or call you to the office to communicate the issue so you'll be aware and you'll make the necessary adjustments. If it persists, speak to their boss. If it continues, go to HR. Go as high as you feel you must to get the help you need. If nothing changes, consider employment elsewhere. Now, hear me. Like I said in the beginning of this live, you have to make sure your name is clean, though. You have to make sure like you show up on time, you execute at a high level, make sure that like you're not insubordinate, have a bad attitude, make sure like you go in, you handle your business, like you're not wasting time and riding the clock. I'll make sure that your name is clean. So when you go to them, they can't be like, well, it's this. Well, they can't put that on you because you make sure that you handle your business while you're there, right? And also, if it persists, you go and talk to the manager or whoever it is you have to go next step up. They can't be like, well, look, we have a rap sheet on this dude or we have a rap sheet on her. Then, like, no matter what you say, they're gonna focus on this. They're gonna focus on your rap sheet. So make sure your name is clean. That's also why it's important that when we show up to work or really show up anywhere, that we are on point. So if we have to take measures and stuff like that, like you ain't got nothing on me. So now are you really discriminating against me? Which that's not a question that we pose. Like it's clear what it is, but we address these things. And when our slate is clean, then then we can really take it further. So peace and purpose. I encourage you though to learn how you can turn this experience, struggle, or pain into your purpose. Ask yourself, what organizations can you start up where you can advocate on behalf of others by being a voice to speak against unfairness in the workplace? What actions can you implement that'll prevent others from experiencing what you've experienced? Make this your mission. Do this from a place of love and with respect, but make it your mission to help others who are struggling to get through this. They need you. This is how you'll find peace, fulfillment, and purpose, not only in the workplace, but in life, by helping others get through what you've gone through. For you, where you are now isn't your final destination. Your brighter future and better life is waiting on you. Take action today. So yeah, that's the 4A method. So that's pretty much how the 4A method to self-improvement works. And like obviously, it's a simple process for us to like really like it's like a growth process that we put ourselves through. Like so when we're talking about showing up to work different, I mean it's showing up to the workplace different. This is what it looks like. I'm sorry, showing up different to the workplace. This is what it looks like. It's looking in the mirror. What can I change? What can I do better? Right? And like, it's an employee training guide to a successful career. So these are practical things that we can implement. Again, it's like, okay, if I have a goal in the workplace, whatever that is, what do I need to do to achieve those goals or that goal? Like, what are some things I need to start doing? What are some trainings, just different stuff, like like a lot of us, we may not have the finances to do, like, to pay for training or whatever it is, but there is something that we can do internally. What can we start bringing to the table? Even if it's just starting with our work ethic, even if it starts with our attitude, even if it starts with our performance. Like when we like package that and create a standard for ourselves, this is how I'm gonna start showing up to work different. Like that right there, like sets us apart from most, if all. So when it comes down to like our reputation will precede us. What I talked about a little bit ago. So that alone. So then when we start talking about experience, start talking about skill sets, start talking about gift or degree if we have that, or the training, like I mean, there's like it's limitless, especially if there's something that God has called us to do. Like he have already made way for us. You know what I'm saying? We have everything, we have the ability, we have everything that we need. We might have to pick up a couple of things along the way, but those are additives. Like from foundationally, we have what it takes. But it won't change until we start to shift our mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when we have the right mindset, we have the right perspective. And that will change our attitude in the workplace. And also when we hold ourselves to a higher standard and this is how we operate, this is how we get out, like that right there, like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, because like God knows the finished product of each and every one of us. Right. So when again, he gave me this process. You know what I'm saying? And on the cool, like this exact same thing, or the manager and employee training guide that's going to come out. Because again, this is part one of a 5-book series, right? So in that one, like it's broken down running back to back, right? So employee, it's a topic or struggle, whatever, or what need to be changed. Is employee, this is what you can do. Management, this is what you can do. The exact same things, but as a manager, these are certain things that you can implement. You can do different, like holding yourself accountable or whatever it is, because it's about bringing peace and harmony between management and employees, and that's the mission that the Lord has called me to the workplace to do, to create that. You know what I'm saying? So like it's all about self-improvement. So he know the finished product. So this is a simple process to where we can become who we need to be personally, and that will also open up the window, open up the door to become who we need to be professionally, so he can really do what he's trying to do through us. But it starts personally, right? Makes sense? Um, so so I ask you, for you who are present today, right now, and who are watching this later. Um, so I don't remember if I don't matter of fact, I don't know if I did, but whenever I get off of here, I'm gonna go in and include in the because I have a few other YouTube channels. One of them is the Workplace Advocate Show, and that right there is I did like 100 and something shorts on there pertaining to workplace, like the work life for employees and management, right? So this is the ministry page. So once I get, or shall I say, once we get the professional page to 50 subscribers, then I can go live. I would no longer be doing any of this on this channel. This is strictly for ministry, right? So if you may, please, um, check the description below. I'm going to put, I don't think I put it in, but I'm going to put the link to the Workplace Advocate show. So if you can please go there and subscribe. And again, it's like resources there as well. Like really mainly like different topics, struggles, and like I do some skits there. Like I do a couple of them where it's like I'm acting like I'm a manager and I'm sitting down having a conversation with an employee, and like just from a scenario of like one of them was like you know how like jobs sometimes they do evaluations or whatever. So I got my little paper or whatever, got my little brim on, and Bobby come in, and I think this one was Bobby. He come in and like he like his work ethic, everything, like he kills it. And so when he first started, when like mind you, I'm explaining it seemed like a whole thing, but I do all this in like within a minute, right? So I'm like I'm looking at your, I don't remember. I'm just trying to I'm just going off the top of my head what I remember. I'm like I'm looking at your evaluation or whatever. The first evaluation, like you were doing exceptionally well, like you was whatever, like basically acknowledging him and stuff like that. And then I'm like I'm looking at the second review here, and this seems like your performance and everything has decreased a bit. I don't remember the term that I used or whatever. And then so I do all of that, and then I backdoor with the video like I'm Bobby, right? And I'm like, yeah, like I'm just not motivated. Like the job is easy. Like it's I'm like I enjoy what I'm doing. It's just I'm not motivated. So with that, is with the manager, we have to as managers, like managers have to make sure that let me rephrase that. It is the best interest of managers or the company to put people where in the position that they enjoy doing. Because again, a lot of us, we just show up to work for a check. So, oh, we look at the description. Oh, I can do that, but like that's not necessarily what we want to do. It's just we there to collect the check. So it's like, okay, cool. Let me go on, because we got bills. But we may not want to do that. So with the manager, and that's something else that I'm working on too, like that's discussed in orientation and stuff like that, or when it come down to hiring an employee, find out what that person enjoy doing, what they love. You know what I'm saying? What are their goals? So that way, if we're going to hire them, let's put them in a position of something that they will actually enjoy doing, because they may be good at this, but they don't necessarily want to do it. So their performance, their show up is going to be probably mediocre. Whereas you put them in an area that they actually enjoy doing, like because they enjoy doing it, like they're going to give it their all. The performance will be different. Their attitudes when they show up to work will be different. So that's kind of like the scenario or the picture that I was painting with with the manager and Bobby. And Bobby explained it to him like, like I'm just really not motivated. Where at first I was, but not anymore. You know what I'm saying? So like it's like let's put the employees where they can really thrive. The only way they're gonna really thrive if it's something that they enjoy doing, or it's along the lines of where they trying to go and who they're trying to become. Make sense? So it's just different things like that. Um, so yeah. So if you subscribe there, then we can start doing, we can start talking work life, going live, and coming on here together where I'll be able to invite some of you guys in and have conversation with y'all while on YouTube, and talk about some of these work life struggles, some things that we can change, some things that we can implement, some things that we can do, like helping each other go through these struggles. Again, the goal is to do this there. That's what the professional page is for. All right. And not to do that on here, which the Lord has given me permission and in a way to like how we can increase that the subscribe over there, so we can start doing that. So this is just the first step in doing that. So if y'all can go over there and subscribe there, again, I'm gonna put the link to the Workplace Advocate show in the description of this live whenever we get through. If you go over there and subscribe, once we get to 50, then we'll no longer do this on here. We'll keep this to the Sunday services, Sunday messages, and then we can work the work life struggles over there. Also, finally, I have one of my other YouTube channels is called Legacy Reading. So I did that basically. That was more like from a personal standpoint. Also, where I can share things with this book and up and coming books, and talk about some of the tips, strategies, insights that can help you from the book that that the Lord lead me uh, to put out, right? And it's practical things like we covered tonight, practical things that you can start doing today. And it's much more in this book. Like it's 7 chapters. We only like talked about some of a couple of them, right? But it's 7. Like we talk about your future starts now, friends and relationship, choosing your friends wisely, choosing your relationship wisely. Foundational health goals I talked about earlier, where you can include in your morning routine, where it create an overall conquer success routine. What it takes to achieve your goals and stuff like that. I think we're going to cover that tomorrow, though. So it's a lot in here. You know what I'm saying? Like so, and also like you know my process of the process I've been going through with the healing in my back. I recorded all of February every day. Well, 6 days a week, Monday through Friday. Me going to the gym. I guess it's like is it like a blog or vlog or whatever it is. So I just basically give encouragement there, like where y'all can walk with me throughout the journey of my healing process. Where you may not need healing in your physical body, like it's something like whatever I was sharing is like you can get something from it, right? So it's just certain things that that I feel that I'm supposed to be doing, but this is not the channel for it. So I'm gonna also include the legacy reading link in the description of this live. So if you can go there as well and go ahead and subscribe. And again, once we get to 50 subscribers over there, then each one of these channels, we're going to use them for what they are for. This ministry. That's it. Y'all notice I don't really do any more shorts or anything like this on this channel. In January, when the Lord will have me preparing for these sermon messages that I'm doing now, this is what He told me it was for. Last Friday, I was laying in the bed. I was struggling with some things, and I just felt the need to want to go live. And it's like He gave me this idea of where it's called. See, it's fresh because I don't even remember what it's called. It's workplace struggle release Friday. So He just gave me permission to do this on Fridays because He know what you guys go through. I don't. So He gave me permission to do that. So yeah, but we're gonna keep. So we're gonna. Oh yeah, that's another thing. So with this, we're gonna move this to the Workplace Advocate Show. All right, but we got to get 50 subscribers. We got to get 50 subscribers there. Anything else? So yeah, we'll be doing workplace struggles there. We talked about legacy reading. So yeah, so that's what we have, and the Lord gave me a itinerary for tomorrow for like what we will cover. It's on my phone. So a couple of things that we're going to cover tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to cover how to value you. And I want to say pay increase for tomorrow. I could be wrong. It could be burnout. I don't know what it is. Either way it goes, the few things that we're going to discuss tomorrow. I plan on going live at 3. I'm in Texas, so that's Central Standard Time. I don't know where you are in the world. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, and that way you'll receive a notification for it. And yeah, I think that's all I have. If you guys are interested in purchasing the Show Up Different to the Workplace Employee Training Guide to a Successful Career, Again, the release date is Tuesday, but there, if you go anywhere other than the website, then like Amazon, Barnes and Noble, you're gonna have to wait until Tuesday. But if you want that joint now to go ahead and start diving in now, then you can click my website at the very bottom of the description of this live, and go ahead and you'll learn a little bit more about the book, and then you can place your. It's Oh yeah, by the way, it's an ebook too. It's not a physical copy yet. It's an ebook, so you can actually purchase that, download that joint now, and rock out. All right. And what else? And also, again, to show up different resource room, some things that's in the book that I extracted from there. The link is in there as in here as well if you want to go and download a couple of those things. And yeah, man, just hey, these are practical things that you can start applying as soon as you tap in. So that's a beautiful part about it. It's not something when I get there, or once I do this, or once I make this move, or once I can afford it. Like, nah, you can get on that joint right now. So glory to God for that, for sure. So let's close out because I think I've been on this joint for about 3 hours. All right, Father, thank you. Is it really? Hold on. I'm sorry. My fault. Father, thank you for this right here. I pray that um, what was needed for your people, it was provided. Holy Spirit, I ask that you will accompany them and guide them within where they are in this process of their life, and begin to reveal to them, whether it's through vision, dreams, or ideas of what that future life look like. Pull on them, nudge on them to remind them to start looking into that future life that you have created for them, that's waiting for them, and help them throughout the process of believing in themselves. If they struggle with that, the confidence, remind them of Exodus 31:3, and Jeremiah 29:11, and Psalms, I don't remember where it say, when before you was in your mother's womb, I first knew you. Meaning that you didn't make no mistakes. You had plenty time to tweak, change some things about them. So no matter what they may feel like their disadvantage is, whatever their struggle is, whatever they went through as a child, whatever they went through in life in general, help them to know that you are the master orchestrator. You already knew what was going to happen. You was qualifying them through those struggles, those pains, to for one to be able to relate to those individuals who you have called them to impact, help, serve, and that you was qualifying them to walk this thing out with conviction, knowing that my heavenly Father created me for such a time as this. And I pray that your name will be illuminated for the world to know and for the world to see through the great work that you will produce through them. And I pray that you continue to do your work in them to prepare, position, and equip them for what you have already predestined for them. Help them to believe, to trust, and have faith enough to faith it through, even through the tough times. May you have your touch, your hands on them, protect them, love on them, give them your presence, seal them with your Holy Spirit, mark them for what you have already predestined and preordained, pre-planned for their lives. Help them to embrace it, even if it seemed too big. Say, with God, all things are possible. Help them know that you the creator of everything. You know everything from the beginning to the end. Guide them, Lord. And I pray that you will give them the wisdom, the strength to persevere through, even if this is a dark season of their lives, even if this is the toughest thing that they've been through. You are their guiding light. Shine their pathway moving forward that ultimately leads them to you, but also lead them into the future life that you have pre-planned for them already. In Jesus' almighty name, we love you. We thank you. We give you the glory, praise, and honor. Help us to honor you by the way we live our lives in every aspect of it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, so family, as always, I love y'all greatly, like for real. No joke. Man, look, I dropped out of school in the ninth grade. Like I lived for the weekend. Like I was skipping school. You feel me? Like, first of all, like I started skipping I started skipping school in the eighth grade, I think. Right. Ninth grade, pre-art, like pre-algebra, it was hard. Duh. I've never done this before. So I was used to always getting A's in math all the way up to ninth grade. So when I encountered a math subject, pre-algebra, like it already solidified the fact that what people would like make fun of me. I'm not smart. I'm not dumb. I embraced it. I believe that. So you have A days and B days. So I don't remember if it was A day or B day. I would have pre-algebra, um, and it was right after lunch. So I started skipping that class to just leaving school like after lunch altogether, going back to the hood, post up in a trap that wasn't even mine, just so I can hang out, smoke and drink. What we was doing on the weekends, I wanted to do that 7 days a week. So I dropped out. It didn't stop there. What I wanted to do 7 days a week in school, dropped out. Like I did this for additional 10 years, 15 years till like 30 some years old when I had a family. Then in the process that God started doing something inside of me, I started to see my life different and started to believe that like it was much more to my life. Right. Again, that was in 2018. Like I dropped out in ninth grade. What was that? In 98, 97 or something like that. Right. And went to Job Corps. Can y'all believe on the 20th, it will be 25 years since I left Job Corps. I went to Job Corps with the same mentality. Same thing I was doing like in school in the hood. I wasn't skipping though, but I was still going there, getting high, selling stupid stuff, right? I left there, went straight to the block. What for? I ain't have to. I had no ambition. I had no vision. At least I didn't tap into it. I didn't care. I just wanted to kick it. I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying? Like I did this for 15 plus years of my life until I had to get it right. So then when I was forced to get it right, once I had a family, I brought them into my mess and still living out this mess. You feel me? And I'm 42 now. That was like in my early 30s. My son, he's 9. It started like, so it doesn't matter where you are in your life. It doesn't matter the struggles that you've been through. We have to make the decision to make changes now, to do things now. When I started to encounter those struggles, because now I want to do better, I want to do more, I want to have more, provide more for my family. And then I started to get exposed to 3 things. Um, New people, the Eric Thomas, E.T. the hip hop preacher, Like, his circle, like that right there changed everything for me. Like that's when I started to believe that, man, I could do more. I can't, like, I deserve more. That's when exposure is everything. Where I was just used to the hood, like what I seen, that was it. So get out of your comfort zone. See something more, see something different. So it was the right individuals to where I started to believe. And then it was individuals, it was information, and it was circles or environments. So that's when everything began to shift for me. So I talked about before, before like showing up to work, like I was still on that hood stuff. I was still on the weekend stuff, going to different parts of town every weekend. I had my weekend planned out. So you can't tell me that you don't know how to plan your weekend. Let somebody call you on some, hey, so and so getting married. Oh, we have a get together or event or whatever. You're gonna make sure that you're ready for that event when that comes, even if it's 3 months down the line. You're gonna make sure that you're ready. You're gonna plan for it. You're gonna know what you're gonna know what you're gonna wear. You're gonna know, like, your hair, whatever. Like, you're gonna know. So you can't tell me you don't know how to plan for your future. You have to visualize and see yourself there. Just like you see yourself there in a couple of months, or whenever that event is, you're gonna be ready for that. That take visualizing. That take brainstorming. That takes preparation. So just like you can plan for the hanging out, the kicking it, have it down to a science, to a T, you can do the same thing for your future. You just have to take time out to see yourself there. It doesn't matter where you started. I can't take glory for what I'm doing, but a done one by the grace of God and Him leading me through, like this. This is the first book that's actually coming out. There's other books that's already written in the context of purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just the professional side of it. You know what I'm saying? Like um um I have like almost a little over 6 months of daily devotionals, whether encouragements, motivations, or whatever. And one of the resources is in the resource room as well. Like, I can't take credit for this. That's just simply God saying, Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. It doesn't mean all the struggle's going to go away. If anything, we're going to really go through it, because He's preparing us for what He sees. He know who He created us to be in His Son. So his goal is to get us there, and struggles does that. So don't, like, look at everything that you've been through. Like, God created me for such a time as this, but you have to believe it's more. How's a ninth grade dropout and then it's like an author? But let me tell you this as I close. Oftentimes, we wait for the world to tell us or acknowledge us for our work, and whatever title that attached to that, then we embrace it. Guess what? I was an author before I even knew I was an author. When you was in your mother's womb, I first knew you. For you are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God pre-planned in advance for us to do, Ephesians 2:10. You feel me? So whatever God created you to do, have called you to do, you already that. Don't wait for somebody else to tell you that. That's where that value in you come in at as well. You have to believe that you're much more than that. You have to learn who God created you to be in Him. I still don't know fully. Again, I didn't know anything about no author or anything like that. But you have to get alignment with first relationship with them, and then also in His will, being intentional about living out the life that He created you to have in His Son. That's for all of us. And then we'll get to learn that Jeremiah 29:11, what that looks like. But you have to believe. You have to be willing to embrace it. You have to. You have to see more for your life. When God started to give me vision, or He started to reveal things to me back in 2014, it's like that. Like I just wrote things down. So start writing things down. Like some of this stuff that's in the book, like He had me writing some of this stuff down in 2018, 2019. I didn't know, like, I didn't know what it was for, when it was going to be for, who it was going to be for. I didn't know His plans for my life. But when we start to walk with Him, then He'll start to reveal things to us through dreams, visions, and ideas. He'll start giving us insight. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just, man, you have to believe, but most of all, get in alignment with your relationship with Christ. And then make every day about, like, what is it that you want me to do today? But those things doesn't matter if the heart isn't pleasing the Father in and through Christ. When we start to seek Him, like really want to get to know Him, live for Him, then like that's when everything changes. But you have to believe and know that you are much more. Bump that. You just like your dad and you just like your mama. Like you ain't gonna grow up to be nothing. Bump all that. Like how you didn't create me. How you gonna tell me? How you gonna tell me what I'm not gonna be and who I'm gonna be? You and in fact, you are a creation as well. Don't speak death on my life. Stop letting people speak death on your life, on your dreams, like telling you that, like because of your struggles, they attach you. That's who you are. That's a lie. The devil is a lie. Believe who He say that you are. And if you're not sure, just walk with Him, remain in His word. He'll begin to reveal things to you. All right, man, I could do this for another 2 hours, 3 hours, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Man, just believe. Again, just go to the resources that's in there, like mainly the future thing. Like start like when you go to work, man, just start seeing something better. Like start like really spending time with yourself and finding out what it is that I really want to do. I know it ain't this. What is it that I can see myself doing for next 10, 20, 30 years or the rest of my life? Once we have an idea, start to see that, we take that to the Lord and like, this your will for my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, just write these things down, pray about it, pray over it. You ask for revelation, clarity, more insight, like adding on to the bit, like all these things. And then it's like, now what do I need to start doing to get there? You feel me? So yeah, but there's much more to come. I'm not gonna hold you guys any longer. Share this out to whoever you feel need it. And man, look, just start today. Like, in fact, don't even start today. Start today by tonight, just going before God and like that live, whatever that dude was talking about. Like, what does that mean for me? Like, is it something there what he shared or something that I got from it? Like, um, like give me clarity. Like, what is that life you created me to have? Like, what did you create me to do? Who did you create me to be in you? You know what I'm saying? Like really get to the root of it, to the heart of it, because I know what it feels like to be going to these jobs and not being fulfilled. Busting our behinds, putting all these hours in, but still struggling financially. You know what I'm saying? I know what it feels like going like, man, like just depressed, just going through it. I know what it's like. It's hard. So that's a call for a change. But that change comes with a decision. But you have to know what on the other side of that looks like. Start there. Start there. Having that conversation, having those questions, even if you have to write it down and going praying before God and asking like I'm done trying to do this myself. I'm done trying to figure it out. I know you didn't create me just to go through the struggle, whatever that struggle is. I believe you created me for more. But I know I can't have I know that like you sent your son to die for me so you can have a relationship with me. Help me start there. Where do I start there? And make that your commitment and he'll begin to reveal things to you. All right. But it's on you. All right. I love y'all greatly. Subscribe if you are not. Again, plan on doing this tomorrow at 3 if God wills, and then we'll go from there. Get started though by seeking the face of God. All right. I love y'all. See you guys soon. Thank you for your time and tuning in, engaging, and everything. We'll talk soon. All right. Much love. Peace.